all that stuff, and then some of the things that occurred.
Oh, also
after I returned.
Yeah, did you know that there's this really, really popular big soccer tournament that's been going on in Kansas City while you've been gone?
Crazy. So like that easily has been the weirdest thing that I've been gone, because I was gone for about a week and a half at the time we were back. I could have done the show last Thursday, but what am I going to do? Rush back to Sprint to do no show? We didn't have a show. And then coming back on a Friday made no sense. So I just chose to come back on Monday. Made no sense to come back on Friday. The from afar view of the World Cup has easily been something like both jealous and proud of the city. Because without question, which you guys I'm sure have already discussed, Kansas City has been the epicenter of the entire World Cup for all three host countries, for every single city that is hosting matches. No city has been more prevalent, mattered more, had more intense moments than Kansas City. So the fact that we get to be like the face of the entire tournament has been very, very, very cool. And I think it's very obvious that that has been the case, even from like, I wasn't walking in the Orange Parade. I wasn't going through all that. And even then, I didn't do the march. And even then, Gold, you can tell that Kansas City's been front and center of it. And then we get another one. You get Algeria and Austria where it's like, ooh, if they both tie, it's like the old NFL playoff game. If they both tie, they advance, but they were trying. And then the game went late, and then in the 93rd minute, there's a goal. And I don't know, just it's been fun, I guess, to see from the outside.
Yeah, we did talk a ton about just how Kansas City's delivered, to say the least, over the last couple of weeks here with the World Cup. And yeah, we've also just had some of the more memorable moments of the World Cup so far happen in Kansas City. So that's been cool. It's not just that the city has been crushing it from showing up and supporting, whether you're a base camp out in Lawrence with Algeria, whether
that's been really cool,
whether it was the march, but the actual matches, even if you're not in Kansas City, if you think about some of the moments so far, look, I hope we have many great ones to come over in the next few weeks with the knockout stage already underway, and in the U.S., of course, playing again on Wednesday night against Bosnia. But Messi's hat trick, of course, an all-time moment that soccer fans will not forget ever. And it'll be referenced when Messi retires, and it'll be referenced, 30 years from now. And then we get the Austria-Algeria match that you were talking about. And if there was anybody ever that wanted to figure out, hey, is there a way for a game that ends in a draw to be extremely entertaining? There's your dream scenario. That is as much as you could possibly ask for from a game that ends in a tie. What we saw on Saturday night. The crowd looked awesome again.
Look, for all the jokes I'm sure any of us at some point in our life have made about, oh, you like a sport that has ties, and we grew up in the American sports system and relegation, and so we're just not used to the European soccer model and all that. Undeniable. Every time the World Cup comes around, how good of a sport it can be. That game was awesome. That match was awesome. And, as a reminder, so I didn't end up getting to go to a match yet, and I probably won't because the quarters and stuff.
You're not going to spend $10,000, $5,000 on tickets?
I had originally planned on going to the Algeria-Austria match. The tickets had gotten down to about $210, and I got greedy. I thought, well, I'm going to try to see if they'll come a little bit lower, because they had come down maybe from 400 when I had originally started looking down to 200. And then the second Lawrence adopted it, and that match mattered through the roof. $600-$700 just to get in, just to sit in the nosebleeds. The Dutch game ended up being cheaper than the Algeria match. And so it wasn't even going to be feasible. But I'm just glad it was all as good as it's been, because some of the things you and I knew, for instance, they have all the numbers out for the most watched. You and I are not surprised that Kansas City is the most watched city as it relates to World Cup stuff. That makes sense.
At the midway point of the tournament, Kansas City, the top local market on Fox Sports. So number one is Kansas City, number two, Boston, number three, Austin, 4, Dallas, 5, San Diego. You got San Francisco, Atlanta, 6, 7, and then Richmond, Virginia at 8, and then DC, 9, St. Louis, 10. So Kansas City, halfway through this World Cup right now, is number one in TV ratings. And that part of it's not stunning at all. I mean, consistently, whether it is showing up for all-star games, whether it's showing up for soccer matches in terms of watching, in prior World Cups, the Kansas City market rated out very well as well. Kansas City is a great sports town. We've said it time and time again. That's why we're very lucky to do what we do for a living in this town. There's people that do sports talk radio in markets where people don't give a damn. They don't. Or you're in a market where so many people are not actually from the city you're doing radio in, and so they don't care. Transient cities, right?
Yeah, Houston. And that's not even a knock, but like,
no, but you're right about
those
Houston.
are known
Houston's
transient cities. That's a great example.
It's a huge market, but yeah, the people, a huge chunk of the people in Houston or some of these other markets don't care about the teams. And I know we're talking about the U.S., so everybody universally does. But the point being, in terms of, this is just another example of Kansas City being a great sports town. And we talked about on Friday, Cody, just whether it was the draft or whether it's been this World Cup, that the Kansas City once again has shown it can host any event on earth in this town.
And I got to be honest, that should make it easier for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's way less than what they've been dealing with. And the idea that, how lucky, all 4 teams that are in the area made it to the knockout round. So they didn't even lose any of the teams who've been kicking it here. They're all still in the tournament. We're now to what, 15 teams? Because there was one knockout round game last night where Canada advanced. But
round of 32.
Or round of 32, sorry. So we're down to whatever it is, 31 teams or whatever. But the idea being that everybody who's still in the knockout round staying in Kansas City, that's cool too. It is very fortunate. That match, I will say, that one was awesome. That was just one of the best ones, other than the Messi hat trick. I don't know that you can ask for much more from a Kansas City sports fan. Anybody who went to these things essentially got what they paid for. Like even like the Dutch one, because Drew, I think, was down at
he went to the March,
March before, and so it's. And I want to point out real quick. I remember specifically, Drew, on this show, saying that if I went down to the match, I would probably like wear orange and be a part of it because it's part of a cultural event that you would want to be a part of the group. And I remember pretty specifically the two of you saying, "Well, that seems kind of crazy."
We did bring this back up again, and I said that I actually fell more in line with what you had said before.
Oh.
You
because initially you were on my side.
Correct. Yeah, correct. I wanted to go and witness it, but the more the week went on, and the more people. The more
I always
videos
said
you
that
saw
wasn't
with Houston and all the other places, I was like, you know what? I'm
like,
on
I got a
Cody's
bone
side
to
of
pick.
things. Yeah, I feel like I need to be a part of this. So I definitely moved and migrated over to your side of thinking regarding the Orange March.
It is true. Before I said I wasn't going to go to the march. I didn't. I didn't go to the march. But it was awesome. I think they kept upping the estimate. It's over 30,000 people now is what they've said ended up going to the march. They use like the geo-fencing data stuff to make it still an estimate. Yeah, so I'm surprised. Well, I guess you weren't back in town yet. Were you back Thursday morning? Could you have gone to the march?
I could have gone to the march, but I was having a brand new AC unit installed. So my AC died.
Did you steal the one from here and take it to your house? Because we don't have AC.
No, it wasn't that. Funny enough, so like my AC started to go. That was one of the things I had to do when I came back in town. My AC started to go before we left town. And so we didn't get it fixed before we left town because it wasn't going to really work out timing-wise. So it was like scheduled essentially the day we returned to have the AC repair guys install a new unit. We had a bunch of different quotes done and all this other stuff, and then eventually decided on the company. And so when they came back, you guys will not, I swear you won't believe it. But when the guy came back, he installed it. And he was like 2 hours into this like 5-hour install. He came into my house and he said, "I bet you've been looking for these." And can you believe what this guy found in my yard?
In the yard?
My glasses! He found my glasses. The AC repair guy found my missing glasses. They're scratched to hell, and they were covered in mud.
Where was it?
In the front yard. Like,
did you not use the metal?
I did use the metal detector.
The listener gave you a metal detector.
But apparently I didn't look in the right spot. He said that they were like, I've got these like, there's 2 entries to like the front porch area of my house, and there's these front steps that we don't use very often because they go down to a very steep yard. There's no like pathway down. Okay. They're there, but like we don't use it very often. And he said that they were somewhere in there, buried in the mud. I don't know. But the glasses are back, so they can go in next year, Cody and Gold Garage Sale. They're scratched up to hell. But they exist again, and I have a backup pair of glasses for the interim. And I also have AC, which is nice, versus this building.
Now, why are they, I mean, I guess, did somebody else run? How come they're so scratched?
I'm guessing because they were buried in the yard for a month. Think about how long I haven't had them now. They've just been getting rained on, mud. Maybe I walked on them.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If it was just rain, it wouldn't scratch them, right?
I don't know, but they were in the ground.
Squirrels are running over it.
You know, this is too. Maybe they just felt more scratched up because you gotten used to it, and then you'd finally put on glasses for a while. They weren't beat up from years of use, and so you put those on, and you're like, ugh, these are terrible. But I have them again. Dead serious. I have my whole old busted up glasses.
Well, I'm glad you found them, I guess, for our garage sale's sake, not that you can use them. The other thing in the text lines reminded me, you were asking, like, what else have you missed? Like, Bink was nice enough to fill in while you were gone. Logan was nice enough to fill in while you're gone. And by the way, shout out to Logan tonight. He's got after hours, and I believe he's got Bennett Sturts joining him tonight. I saw he put out a tweet, which is a great kid for Logan. That'll be awesome. Bennett Sturts, of course, the Iowa grad. just got drafted in the NBA draft, and so that'll be really cool. But so thanks to both of them. But anyway, I bring it up because when you were gone, it was the day after Messi had the hat trick at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Which was just
incredible. What a moment.
An all-time moment.
Cool.
And so naturally, right, the conversation on this show and this station and across Kansas City the next day was, where did that moment stack up in Arrowhead history? And Drew and I went back and forth on it, and listeners on the text line, and we were discussing, where did it actually stack up? And I said, look, as a Chiefs fan, nothing is going to surpass, the Chiefs, seeing the Chiefs win an AFC title or something like that, or the 13-second game. But in general, in sports history, we have to acknowledge the Messi hat trick is an all-time moment. And so Bink then was going through all-time Chief moments, and someone on the text line reminded me, and I want to get your take. They said, according to Bink, Messi's World Cup hat trick isn't as memorable as Warren Moon's 538-yard passing game in a regular season game. Yes.
Bink.
Yeah, I forgot. I just want to fill you in on what you missed. Takes you missed. All kinds of things happen,
He really said that?
He did.
Bink. You're better than that. Than Messi's hat trick in the World Cup.
He was going through Chiefs moments. He's like, look, Warren Moon, 538-yard passing in the regular season.
That's crazy.
He's going to text me now. Sorry, Bink. I'm supposed to fill Cody in on all the things that happened.
Yeah, what else did I miss? Anything else? Drew get in trouble?
No, Logan continued to give us more drops.
Show us your meat, bro.
What did he say that about?
Just, things like that happen.
What did he say? That was in relation to what?
I think we brought back up his prior comment about the dark meat and white meat thing that he brought up years ago.
And that's what he said?
Uh-huh.
I would be cautious with those things. From the 816, Cody must live in a giant mansion. Can't even see his giant yard. The yard's really tall.
Yeah, the way he described
it's steep.
We have a couple entrances. We don't use this one. It's just too far of a walk to get to the other side of the house.
I just don't want to walk all the way down a steep ass hill if I have stairs on the other side of the porch. Honestly, I'm not even sure why they put it there. The delivery people use it sometimes. I feel bad. I will say the AC guys, watching them have to take that old AC unit up that hill. They got like my neighbor, who's very nice, but he's a reservist. So like, he can be kind of a serious dude. If they at first, when they were trying to deliver the new unit, they were like, well, we're not walking all this big hill. They just backed up into his driveway without saying anything.
Oh, that's
and he came out and he was like, the hell are you doing?
Right, yeah.
Which is a reasonable response
totally
to this.
Is.
After we explained to him, he's like, they can use it again later if they need to, but they didn't want to after that. So they had to take that whole thing down that big
in fairness, you should just park in somebody else's driveway and do that.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, that's.
But I didn't know. Eventful.
Yeah. Other things people reminded me on while you were gone, Cody, that Logan confirmed he did not leave the half-eaten sandwich in
the bullpen.
No,
or in the
he acknowledged leaving food in the studio,
so
but he said that wasn't him. So we still don't know who left the half-eaten sandwich in the.
I'll be honest. I stopped even doing research for it. I just assumed that he was the culprit and kind of ended the investigation there.
Nope.
So, interesting. I guess we'll see where it is. Nothing else changed. Everything's the same. We're good.
Yeah, we're solid.
No, did anyone get fired or anything in the building while I was gone?
Drew, anybody get fired?
Why are you asking Drew?
Maybe.
Wait, what?
No, he was here for that. Yeah.
Yeah, the only other recent one I was here for. I was just making sure nothing else happened while I was gone. Okay. That's all.
People on the text line are asking, is Bob okay? And Mac, yeah, they're fine. There was no AC this morning, guys. They're fine.
So they went back.
They'll be back tomorrow.
I will say the one thing I did notice while I was gone is like, I can't watch every Royals game the same way I normally would if I was in town. Did every single member of the Royals get hurt? Except for Jack Caglione until he got hurt over the weekend? Because by my count, it was literally every single member of the entire Royals roster hurt while I was gone. Meanwhile, Jack Caglione was hitting like 57 home runs, I think. But everyone else was hurt, and now he's hurt with a groin issue. And then Nick Lofton took a fastball to the penis, I think it's fair to say.
Just say to the balls
Nuts.
instead, yeah.
I don't know where he got hit, but I might have gotten all of it. But either way, he took a 90-mile-an-hour Daniel Lynch fastball to the nuts while I was gone.
Just say groin area. It could be. I think we.
I don't think that's doing it justice.
Maybe not.
Did you guys see that? Drew, did you see that video yet?
I saw the clip of it.
Yes.
It sums up this season for the Royals. Absolutely.
I think what kind of hurt was
this entire season's been a kick to the junk for Royals fans. It's been extremely disappointing, one thing after another. Yes, all the injuries have happened now, but again, I'll say it for the 100th time.
No, it was bad before
this team was not any good well before the injuries piled up.
I think what stood out to me was I knew that they were playing bad and that the season had gone south and all those things that we agreed. And it wasn't the injuries and all this other stuff. Most of it, but up to the last week and a half, I didn't feel like they had the Ken Harvey caught up in the tarp, cut off man getting drilled with a ball moment, and then this happened.
And Montgomery puts down a perfect bunt. Lynch fields, throws to third, and he drills Lofton, who is now down.
He wasn't expecting a rocket of a throw.
They're going to bring the cart out.
But they are going to need a new third baseman.
But they are going to.
The commentary is great. The commentary is great behind it.
A new third baseman. That looked bad.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
it's
bad.
not any fun.
Nick, if you're listening to the show, man, I hope you're all
That's,
right. That looked tough.
Yeah, look, the only while you were gone, the two positives around this team have been Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. Cags is hitting the cover off the baseball. We think he should be in the home run derby, and I think he has a chance to get there.
Not with the injury, but also what are you saving the rest of the season for?
But the injury, he's not on the IL.
Yeah, I agree.
He had a what do you wake up with a sore groin? I think it was.
He has a groin. Is that what it is? We're back to the Chiefs drop. Is that in the system?
Yeah. So I don't think he's out for a long period of time. And then Carter Jensen's on a 19-game hit streak, something like that. So those are the two positives. Those are the two things we're all keeping an eye on moving forward. That's really all you have to hold on to keep your interest at this point in time. It's sad to say here as we're about to turn the calendar to July, but they need to be prepared. Like Michael Walker pitched great again. I know we've talked about the complicated nature of that because you need to have rotation in 2027.
I know, but there's got to be teams begging for him to be available.
I think they're going to be in a position where they're going to end up almost having to trade him because I think they're going to get a pretty substantial offer. And that's the problem. Is that eventually what it turns into is you're not going to have a choice because the offer is going to be so good. What can you do? The only two things seemingly that have gone to maybe three because Walker or whatever. I'm sure I can find a couple. But the two things I know for sure went to plan this year are Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. And Gold, honestly, those were the things that I was maybe the least sure about. Two guys who had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. Carter Jensen had played a month. Jack Caglione had played half a year, in which part of which he'd been relegated to for a portion of it. I wasn't counting on those two guys making a difference. But then you got Salvi as one of the worst qualified OPS hitter in all of baseball still, so it never came around for him. Then Vinny got hurt. Now Bobby's hurt. And this, you know what it is? This is what actually bothers me about the Royals. I can understand you don't have the talent. I really can. But then when you do stupid things in addition to it, why the hell was Bobby Wood Jr. hitting in the game, in an E-brace, down 22-1. Someone want to walk me through that decision? I also hate that Jack Caglione is playing both right field and first base. No, one or the other. He doesn't have to bounce. That doesn't bug me as much. You and I we kind of debated that before you went out of town, and I said if Vinny Pasquantino ever misses a significant portion of the time or is not on this roster, I still want him going back to first base. And
why is he doing both?
But right now they're trying to I think make sure Salvador Perez is still in the lineup, and by doing that, it keeps him having some flexibility. He can play first if they need to as well. That doesn't bug me as much. The Caglione thing, they got to keep Cags in the lineup every single day, of course. At this point, that was the whole argument earlier in the season, and the fact that Jack Caglione has hit the way he has, I think, is what ticks people off even more. That he wasn't in the lineup way back in April.
Terrence Gore pitched back-to-back games this weekend.
Not Terrence Gore.
Or not Terrence Gore.
R.I.P.
Sorry.
Tolbert.
I'm just thinking of former fast guys.
I got you.
But the idea that he, Tolbert's pitching back-to-back nights, it's crazy. It's gone south, hasn't it? And the AL stinks. That bothers me too, Gold. You see how bad the American League is?
Yeah, don't cite me the wild card.
Oh, I'm not.
Games back crap either. Because
no, I'm talking about this from a frustration point.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. This team is 14, 15 games under 500. The wild card being 6 back doesn't matter.
Is that how far back they are?
I haven't checked this morning, but
I can't be bothered.
You don't make the playoffs unless you're at bare minimum 500.
I'm just bothered that there are only 4 teams above 500 in the entire American League, and the Royals can't be competitive. This is not about there's still hope. They have the worst record in the American League. They have the worst run differential in the American League. They have to jump 58 teams. I don't want to mention that there are 6 or 7 or whatever how many games back they are. They can play themselves into a conversation that matters in that department. But at the moment, right now, it's Tolbert pitching and everybody getting hurt. Nick Lofton taking a fastball from Daniel Lynch. It's gone south in a hurry. And it was already not good, and now it's coming to the comedy of errors. And some of that is because of the guys who are having to play. Like, nobody thought going into the year, some of the guys who were playing every day.
Meisner and
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be playing every day. Like, that wasn't ever part of the plan, right? I mean, it never was going to be a part of the plan. Well, I'm glad that I didn't miss much. It is.
You
it
missed
is
the
still a
pic.
little
We had a
stuff in
pic.
here.
We had a picnic last week. You were gone for.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
It was a company picnic. Well, you missed the story around that was initially an email went out, and it showed Sam Stevie from KMBZ and Carrington like AI'd into grilling. Like it was an AI photo of them grilling. So everybody was like, "Oh, okay, Carrington's gonna grill." The boss sent an email, said, "Make sure you join us at the picnic. Sam and Carrington are gonna be grilling." Carrington responded and said, "I've never grilled in my life. I'm just going to be there for the good vibes," or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, but he said he never grilled, and so that was where the Logan drop talk when he was talking about meat came from, because we went down there to check and Carrington didn't grill. So to this day, Carrington still hasn't grilled. That was the whole conversation last Wednesday.
So you're to tell me that Carrington has never grilled once in his entire life?
Correct. That was why we were all flabbergasted.
And yet we know he'd be the first person to take a plate home from the cookout. So like to be clear, he's never once touched the grill, would be the first person to take a plate home?
That's right.
That's messed up.
That's right.
You got to cook once? He can't cook a hot dog or a hamburger?
That's what we said. This was the whole
or
thing.
Or a steak?
You missed that, but that was the whole thing.
I actually think Carrington should have to work the 4th of July at the station now as a result of that. He's not American enough to celebrate it, so he needs to come in on, even observed if he wants. Carrington, you need to work on Friday, July 3rd. We'd like you in for a full 4-hour show to celebrate, because you have to work, because I'm not sure.
We just couldn't believe it. Like nobody's ever
crazy
said,
to
"Hey,
me.
can you take over the grill for a little bit? I got to go do this or whatever."
Not even just like a sidekick scenario. Like, Gold, where you say, "Hey, Drew, can you watch the burgers for a minute? I got to go."
Nope. That was the whole thing.
I
I couldn't believe it last week. He addressed it, I think, on his show later that day.
How was it that he was expected to be the grill master? How did that come about?
Because somebody sent out the photo, and it was funny. It was Stevie and Carrington, just like with a AI photo or something.
Yeah, sure. So like the
And then
digital
so
sent out a photo, so everyone assumed Carrington was
So
grilling.
people thought he was grilling, and then he responded and said, "I've never grilled in my life." And then we thought maybe somebody's going to teach him to grill. We went down there, and he wasn't there.
He was just hanging out.
And that prompted the Logan.
I don't even think he wasn't even hanging out, Cody. He just wasn't there.
He just didn't show? Well, you guys were in the middle of the show. That's a little different.
Light or dark, I only care about meat in my mouth.
There was another one after that, too, that happened.
Genuinely, I have some of the worst ones on this show. That one's far worse.
Show us your meat, bro.
That light or dark one gets me every single time. I don't know if you didn't hear that when you were saying it. Clearly not. But
He forgot we played it, and he was like, "Wait, was that me?"
Oh yeah.
he said, "Wait, was that me?"
He didn't even realize it was him that said it.
Yes,
he totally
it
forgot.
was. Tune into Logan tonight. He has Bennett Sturtz on the show.
Yeah, it should be a great interview. All right, coming up next, guys, let's get into the Chiefs a little bit. We know in a couple of years they will be playing over on the Kansas side, and so with that, there's some trademarks that are already being filed. We'll run through a couple of the names, and you're convinced one NFL player has ruined his career. That's next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Guys, let's be honest for a second. When it comes to performance, and you should want to perform just as good as the teams that you love to root on do, good enough, it's just not good enough. That's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar. Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body, has been introduced. Here's the deal. Most blue pills only focus on blood flow. Blue Chew Gold goes further. It combines 2 proven ingredients for circulation, plus apomorphine and oxytocin to enhance arousal, desire, and connection from the inside out. It's not just about function anymore, guys. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. This is the future of performance. Faster, smarter, and precision-based engineered for results. Get started at BlueChew.com today and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew, now with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. And ladies, if you're listening, send your man the link and make him a trophy husband with Blue Chew Gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We got a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatic Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock. every match, all tournament long. And Fan Cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in Fan Cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
At Shawnee Mission Ford right now, they're allowing you to get a big win, and that is employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Employee pricing for everyone on 25 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions. And you still get all the rebates and incentives offered from Ford on top of employee pricing, along with top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
I hear the sizzle of the grill. It's time to buy Gates sauces and seasonings for your 4th of July cookout. Make sure to use both for a boost of flavor on your dips, chips, and more. Try Gates salad seasoning on raw or cooked vegetables and sprinkle over corn on the cob to give it that extra flavor pop. Stop in and pick up a couple of slabs of ribs or a party tray to serve this 4th of July. Whichever, Gates has you covered. All 5 locations will be open this 4th of July. Gates has proudly served Kansas City for 80 years. Thanks with love.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, just getting going here on a Monday. Cody and Gold, full show back together, ready to rock and roll on a Monday in KC. Hope everybody's having a good day. Another hot one. It's going to be hot like the entire week.
Just miserably
No rain
hot.
for a bit. 4th of July weekend coming up. We'll talk more about what we're doing this weekend and stuff later on in the week. Looking forward to that.
Somebody asked while I was gone if I practiced my quarterback cadence. No, I take time off to be time off. I'll work on my quarterback cadence during working
You didn't
hours.
do it on like the drive down to Dallas or something?
Drive everyone absolutely insane for a 8-hour drive down. Kids actually did pretty good. They both my kids are decent car kids. Although I think I only made like 2 hours in town, or out of town before I got the first. Are we getting close?
No, boy.
Oh no. Oh no. We're still so far
Didn't
away.
they have an iPad or something? That road trips now, I mean, the iPad, I feel like that eats up a couple hours easily.
That's a way big difference. We were out here playing the alphabet game as kids.
License
Plate. Having to think about all the stupid games we play in a car. No seatbelts in the back of some passenger van. Just all unsafe and terrible. No, they had iPads. One of my kids gets car sick.
Oh, that sucks.
So he can only watch stuff for so long before he just starts to not feel very good. So he's kind of hangs out. I mean, really.
There was no incidents like the last time. Weren't you at some dance show?
Yeah. No run-ins. Honestly, it was a relatively no issue trip.
Good.
Like I didn't get yelled at by anybody. I didn't get any kind of spat. I still think they're all I don't like the setup of these dance contests. And I think that you and I could run our own dance competition and we'd be the most popular one on the planet because we could streamline this thing in a way and get rid of some of the stuff that does not need to be there. Easily the worst part about it is the DJ guy. And look, I don't know his name and I'm sorry.
You didn't like the music or what?
It is the...
You think you can do a better job? Is that what you're saying?
I'll just tell you right now. This is going to... Immediately the text line's going to bury me.
Oh, God.
Which is fair. His need to just fill any second of silence with the worst conceivable, like, hey, who here's from Missouri? Woo! That, I can't. And you do it for 5 straight days, 6 straight days. And by the end, man, you want to strangle the guy. You just want to walk over there, snap his microphone in half, flip the table, and get the hell out.
You would rather him play Pasquantino in between sets.
I'd rather listen to the cha-cha slide for the 4,000th time, man. I would.
This is how so half our audience loves your songs, half hate it. We've established this.
That's exactly how they
We've established this. And this is what you just described is how the half that doesn't like your songs feel. Where they're like, you have to do another damn song. And people were asking why you were gone if we could play JAC, because when Cags was on the tear and everything. And I believe maybe my calendar is off. I thought you have to wait till the middle of July till you
I thought
can
to create a new song, or just no songs in the show at all.
I thought there was no Cody songs till the middle of July. I think we got another 2 weeks.
I mean, at the rate that we were going, though, maybe he was so good because we didn't play the song.
There you
he
go,
just kept
Drew.
going because if we'd have played the song, maybe it would have.
That might be it. Yeah, that might actually be the thing. All right, let's talk about something that came out on Friday afternoon. We were done with the show already, and I think a couple of news outlets, Channel 5 reported it, The Star. Some others did some digging on the old U.S. Patent and Trademark Office filings. And sure enough,
when your team's building a new stadium.
Exactly. And sure enough, the Chiefs are filing some trademarks, right? In a wide scope, I would say, because they don't maybe fully know what they want to do yet, but you want to protect your intellectual property, right? This is what every team would do. But it maybe gave us some insight on what they're thinking. Let me read through a couple of these. So these were applications that were filed with the Patent and Trademark Office back on June 25th. Arrowhead Sports and Entertainment Complex. So if they want to call that entire, right now it's the Truman Sports Complex.
I'd say it's a bit long.
Yeah, I mean, but
we can get to that in a minute.
Or Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Okay.
Would that tell us that they're going to keep the Arrowhead name? That's what I got from that. You've talked about that a lot, how you think they'll just keep it.
I do.
I just wonder if they'll, it's Arrowhead Stadium with GHA Field. I don't know if they'll change the whole name of the stadium. Another one, we know that tailgating's important. I've been to Lambeau Field in Wisconsin, and they have Titletown. The Chiefs have trademarked something. Doesn't mean they'll use it. Or they're trying to trademark something called Tailgate Town.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
It's the worst one of the entire group.
You don't like it?
It's offensively bad. Tailgate Town? That sounds like something Alex would have named his little football area in The Sims. Like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Alex had a little football field and he named it Tailgate Town.
It does.
Of the available pre-generated options, it was one of 4, Drew, is what it sounds like. And Tailgate Town was the best of the 4 awful options. I hate that one more than any of them.
See, I actually...
Genuinely more than any of them.
I think it's better than the next one. The next one, Kingdom Commons. I understand what they're going for, but that to me is worse.
The alliterative, even though it's not spelled with 2 Ks.
The Kingdom Commons one...
That to me is the worst.
The Kingdom Commons one is like the place that you go eat lunch at the zoo, is what they call it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the hangout spot.
It does sound like a rundown apartment complex near the stadium currently. Like one in which some sketchy behavior has been taking place for a while. Let's go stay at the Kingdom Commons. You're like, ooh, that's where you live?
At least in that scenario, there's development near the stadium. But
yeah. But it definitely has that vibe. I like it. I don't like it, but I like it better than Tailgate Town. What other ones? Give me the ones that we can get to that we like.
Yeah, well, so I was trying to see overall of the ones that they actually filed. Those were the 3 main ones, to be honest with you. They had entertainment, the applications for trademarks to include sporting events, concerts, festivals, fan experiences, watch parties, live and televised events. There was
like a 63 entertainment, right?
Yep.
In ode to
just call it the Arrowhead Sports.
Title?
Just call it the Arrowhead Sports Complex. Then you don't have to do the thing, Gold, where you're calling the new stadium Arrowhead and people get... No, it's the Arrowhead Sports Complex. There's also a stadium here. It doesn't have to be called Arrowhead. And if you say, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm heading down to Arrowhead. You get to use the name, keep the IP, make your life simple. This seems like a layup. The other ones are awful. Tailgate Town sounds stupid. And I'll make fun of them. And I'm not... At no point I will say that I'm heading down to the Chiefs Stadium or something. Because at no point will the 3 of us be sitting around like, hey, what do you guys want to do after the show? Hey, why don't we head down to Tailgate Town? It's the corniest name.
Does it remind you of Funky Town? Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's like maybe from Parks and Rec when he's talking about Ice Town. Ice Clown makes Ice Town his big frown or whatever. It's like the rhyming part of nonsense. It just sounds stupid. Someone says Pizza Hut wouldn't even deliver to Kingdom Commons. They're off of the do not deliver list.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like what's the pizza place in Toy Story?
Pizza Planet?
Yeah, like
Pizza
that's
Planet.
Pizza Planet. It's in that same realm where it's just it's too much like that. Anyway, 63 Entertainment, as Drew said, was another trademark that they filed, which would cover all this stuff, entertainment, dining, retail.
That just sounds like a regular entertainment district. I'm not like offended by it.
And then one that, I don't know, 2-point development, like 2-point conversion, 2-point development.
Again, those are like, this is a standard business park and you've given them standard shopping area names. I don't have they don't move the needle, but I'm not offended by them. Please do not name it Kingdom Commons or Tailgate Town. Just don't.
Kingdom Commons doesn't work because you almost just did it. The text line has made the joke. They think you're saying Kingdom Condoms.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work.
You have to sound it out.
Which is another thing they have to hand out at that sketchy apartment complex to keep the disease from spreading.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's crazy. Those are bad names.
I mean, the
Sometimes
truth is,
I
Cody,
wonder, like, people sit in these big offices and have these meetings, and they're like, what about Tailgate Town? And they don't get booed out of the office. I just wonder what happened.
well, they probably pay like $300,000 for some consultant and marketing firm to come up with some of these names for them. Again,
they just asked like ChatGPT and it popped it out for him is what it was.
I do think, if we're being honest, most likely whatever names, and these are just some of them.
The name, I think.
Whether it's the stadium, whether it's the tailgate area, it's probably going to have a sponsor name attached to it as well. So you can joke all you want about Tailgate Town, Cody, but let's be real. It won't be Tailgate Town. It'll be T-Mobile Tailgate Town is what it's going to be. It's going to have a corporate name in front of it on top of all
Tailgate
that.
Town, brought to you by T-Mobile. I know it'll have a corporate name, and that's fine. And sometimes people adopt it. Like, we've talked about this.
Bud Light Tailgate Town.
The White Sox, for a while, they had a thing going because people would say, hey, let's head down to the cell. Like the U.S. Cellular, you can find a way sometimes to adopt the corporate name into we're heading down to blank. But you only get one shot at that because people don't say, now we're heading down to the guaranteed rate. No. They don't they probably still either call it the cell or they call it Comiskey or they call it any of the other things. You get one shot at what everybody will universally call it moving forward. I still say Sprint Center sometimes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I absolutely say Sandstone. Like, and you know what? If Morton Amphitheater, if 30 years from now it's not Morton anymore, you and I will still call it Morton.
Well, people already call it the Salt, Saltstone.
Yeah, it's like, that's just whatever name sticks in the next year will be the name it sticks as. Like, it's the same reason, like, people, we talk about this like in Pittsburgh. We were just down there by their renamed stadium. They're not going to, what's the new name?
Acrisure.
They're not going to call it Acrisure. They're just going to say Heinz. They're just going to call it, like, you got one shot at it, and then it's kind of dead. Don't let that one shot be Tailgate Town.
Someone said Starbond Stadium, actually, is what it'll be called.
Starbond Stadium.
Yeah, look, these are just some of the patents that they are applying for. Doesn't mean that it's going to be any of these, but they're going to have something. They're clearly going to call the tailgate area something, I think, instead of it just being a parking lot. Like they're going to try to enhance and this, as far as or prop up the tailgating aspect.
I'm still waiting for the renderings.
Same, Drew. Same, man.
I feel like they should be here by now.
Still waiting.
I'm hoping the next, by the time we get to week 1 of the NFL season, during training camp or something, we get, because the renderings that are out there in every news article that puts it, those aren't the ones, remember, those are not the Chiefs' actual renderings. Those are a couple companies or architecture firms.
One of them was bidding for.
It could look very similar. I mean, this is the one argument, of course, among many for some, against the Dome Stadium. There is some limitation with what you can do with a Dome Stadium versus an open-air stadium. We want to get back into that conversation. We know they're not going to have an open-air stadium, so we'll see. Every stadium tries to do something. You saw last week, maybe, Cody, while you were gone, the Buffalo Bills are opening their new stadium, right? Highmark Stadium.
Yeah.
And they brought in these Art Deco-looking buffaloes that are now going to be They looked like the Star Wars what do you call it? Not characters. The oh my gosh, what are the name of the tall walking creature things in Star Wars?
What are those called?
Some Star Wars nerd's gonna text us.
They'll know immediately. I've watched most of the Star Wars. I don't know all the nomenclature.
Anyway, they look like those things.
They could have done a better job, I think, with the Buffaloes. I think
the
AT
Walker things or whatever.
Yeah, they could have made them look a little better. I like the concept of it, but
I don't
know.
And look, I don't know. The Bills are kind of on one because I assume you guys saw over the weekend too that they're not going to take O.J. Simpson's name down to the new building.
Yes,
they're taking him off the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. They're eliminating him from being a portion of it. I will say there are a lot of bad people in teams' Hall of Fames. So to be like, but I don't know if there's a more infamous bad person than theirs, right? Like there's plenty. I imagine we can find other people who've been guilty of some pretty bad crimes over the years in other people's Ring of Honors, but that one's a pretty famous one. So you get a new stadium, maybe not to move it on. This is only the lost statue stuff we've been joking about here in Kansas City.
I guess what I'm confused with it. So yeah, the Highmark Stadium's opening up. Their new Hall of Fame in Buffalo will not have O.J. Simpson part of it and his name featured. Why did they not? They had all these years to remove him from the old. Why did they not just take his name off the stadium?
I don't know.
At Highmark, I mean, it's not like the OJ news is new news. I think we've kind of known for a bit. Yes, we've kind of realized what happened there. So I don't know why they're just now doing it. That would be my only question. I wonder what Bills fan are Bills fan. Have you seen? Are I should text our buddy Mike up there. Are Bills fans mad about this? Are they happy? What's the feeling?
Like, you got to be of a certain age to remember O.J. Simpson playing anyway. Like, Drew's not even old enough to remember O.J. Simpson driving in a Bronco down the highway.
Nope.
So, like...
I was very little.
You can't... I just remember they showed us the court ruling.
I was very little.
In elementary school, they rolled in one of those old TVs to show us the verdict.
I've seen the clip,
Which is
of course, but Cody,
insane thing to do to elementary school kids, but whatever.
I only saw the clip after the fact. I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I might as well not have been born. I wasn't watching it live.
And so,
if I was, I sure as heck don't remember.
I mean,
it's a part of team history too, where it's like if he wasn't removed when it happened, then why are you removing it now? I guess in a way,
Well, that does happen, right? I mean, like if somebody does, you would think in this case, we've seen. I mean, if
now is because it's a free out.
Who's the old Panthers owner? Jerry Richardson or something? Mm-hmm. Didn't he have his statue or something removed? So it does happen. That stuff does happen after the fact. I don't know.
And they took the Paterno one out just to put it back? Did they put it back?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. They took it out.
Yes, I know they definitely took it out, and they changed the field name and all that other stuff.
But I guess a lot of this goes back to the same,
Yeah, it's still removed, by the way. They'll never put that statue.
You know why? Someone's saying, why now? Because it's a free out. You were putting a whole new stadium in there, and you had to put a whole bunch of stuff up. It's a lot easier to not put something up than it is to take something down.
Sure.
Right?
That's fair.
It's way easier. Like let's just say hypothetically, if the Royals do no longer want the Frank White statue at the
it's getting lost in transportation.
Because of all the issues at the stadium and all that stuff. The visual of Gold taking a jackhammer to the bottom of the thing to dig it up is a lot different than me just not putting it in. It's a totally different vibe. I'm not saying they will do that. I'm just saying it's
that's a good comparison
easier
for what the Royals.
So if you have the opportunity for the Bills to just be like, maybe we don't want that pretty famous murderer on the Ring of Honor anymore, I don't blame them for doing it. It's not that crazy. Their stadium to me is just so boring. It does not look interesting in any way, and I deeply fear that. You guys are talking about waiting for the renderings. I fear that for the new Chief Stadium. That what it won't have is any character at all. Because what we are currently really blessed with in Kansas City is stadiums with a lot of character and unique features and things that make them seem different and feel different than other areas. I fear we'll get Roomba Stadium, but in Kansas City. Yeah,
for sure.
And not that they aren't nice, but that they just.
I hope that
at least SoFi has character too, because it looks different.
It is different, and hopefully the Chiefs have an emphasis on recognizing if we're going to switch to this dome stadium, which is already something that a huge chunk of people don't want, then we're going to at least make sure it has some elements, to it. Even little stuff, guys. Like we all know at Arrowhead, you got the Arrowhead-shaped video boards. Is there anything they can do inside a stadium? Or are they going to, the ribbon board stuff, are they going to try to, you mentioned SoFi. There's a couple stadiums that have that unique ribbon board where, right over the field. Who knows? There's some options with the details like that. The actual, overall shape of the stadium and outside of the stadium, unfortunately, there's some limitation there. Inside the stadium is where you can add the character and make it unique.
Yes.
And
that's what I mean. Like the
Raiders Stadium has the torch, for crying out loud. Allegiant. There's some that just done a better.
Minnesota's got that big cool glass feature on the end of theirs.
We keep referencing the Viking Stadium, and it's because that one on TV does not look like it's indoors. They've done an amazing job with the lighting and with the, as you said, like these huge glass windows on, I don't know, one of the ends, the north side, I don't know what it is, of the end zone of the stadium. And that makes it look really, really cool. And you get the natural light in there. It doesn't feel like you're in an indoor stadium. You and I have been to Allegiant, and in that particular building, I actually think they did a decent job with the lighting, but the outside just looks cookie cutter, So we'll see. I do want the rendering. Someone said build the dome in the shape of an arrowhead. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, it's just there's so many limitations.
Just the whole complex, and you know how much bigger you'd have to make it just for the field to be in there. Also, they build stadiums in a shape for a reason. The seats at the end of that arrowhead would be awful, unless it's just like a big open area. It'd be terrible. They're never going to do that. But like the Bills Stadium on the inside looks boring. It doesn't look. It just looks like a generic build-a stadium.
The one thing I do like that they're doing in their new stadium, Highmark, is I'm sure you saw that the seats, because of the elements, overhang part, the fans will be covered from the elements. It'll also make it they don't have to pay people to shovel out the snow anymore, I don't think. And they're going to have some elements like that while keeping it outdoors. That would have been something I think a lot of fans here would have been intrigued by, which is keep it outdoors, but overall try to add a little more of that, because we all know deep down why they're moving to an indoor stadium. They want to have events year round. They want to be able to do the concerts and all these other events. Otherwise, they would have just kept it outdoors.
Do people want, I guess the question I have is, do people want the arrowhead or the football shaped scoreboards the same?
I said arrowhead shaped, football
no, it's
shaped.
fine.
You know what I meant, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Do they want that the same as they want, or as badly as they want the fountains part for, or the crown scoreboard part for the Royals? I feel like they want those more than they want the football-shaped scoreboards for the Chiefs. Am I wrong? The only problem with having the football-shaped scoreboards is they can only be so big. And these new stadiums want gigantic scoreboards.
Oh, I think it's more important to have crown vision in the new Royals Stadium.
And fountains than it is the football-shaped scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say, well, they keep the drum. I would think they have to.
The drum deck? I'm sure they'll have the drum deck somewhere.
I would think they have the drum in some way, shape, or form. I'd be surprised if they got rid of that completely.
It's
that would
pretty
be really
new,
surprising.
Drew, I'll say.
But dude, that's been over a decade now.
It's been about 10 years, but it's not like since inception.
Okay.
And you have to remember, they made it the drum stuff, and it had a little bit more Native American imagery than it should have on it. And then they reduced that a little bit, so it was more of a drum.
They like that because every team now has something pregame.
A thing like that. Yep.
The Viking Stadium, they have them blow the
skull,
the
big horn
or whatever. Yeah, and the Seattle does the 12th man. Like every stadium now has some. I don't know what they do.
The Bengals have the ruler of the jungle where they sit. Yeah,
it'll probably migrate. That's fair, but it's not that old. Is all I'm saying. It's not like
I didn't realize it was that
rich history.
It was that new. I
Last decade.
I thought it was.
We used to have war paint, a horse right onto the field. We used to have a horse,
like Florida State does with Renegade.
They had a they had a guy in full Native American headdress run down there with a war painted horse, man. I
didn't know they did the whole Florida State deal. Obviously the Florida State thing is different.
Yeah.
Somebody said they should have a legacy area where it's Cocoa Keys, Denny's, and Taco Bell land. Just an ode going back
in the
to
parking lot. You can go and just get
Commons.
a tiny Denny's in the parking lot and a Taco Bell.
Please,
Cocoa Key Water Resort.
Nobody would ever make fun of themselves that way, but what a treat!
Yeah.
What a
There'd
treat!
be a level of nostalgia where they give like the old Taco Bell cups. You have like
there
the.
Can the new stadium have a truck out in the outfield?
Oh, and a Watson's hot tub. That'd be the Royal Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give us all the stuff that we remember from these.
I'm being
previous
correct.
ones.
Somebody texted me and said the drum deck did not come in until COVID. The drum used to be on the field.
So it's even less than 10 years.
So they've
I was
done
like,
they've done the drum,
really?
but the drum deck was even newer than that.
They did used to do it on the field. That's right. The drum deck is newer than that end. But again, it's not something that's been around for like forever. Or it's changed a little bit over the years.
I mean, I'd be lying to you if I didn't think it was always cool when war paint ran out on the stadium. I understand why they don't do it, but when war paint ran on the field, that was always kind of cool.
I
understand.
It was a different era. War paint was running on the stadium. Gary Glitter was blasting throughout the stadium.
The good old days of Chiefs football. No, I do. Yeah. Oh, the Chiefs. The soundtrack of the stadium hasn't changed in a very long time. I feel like.
Except for that one.
Yeah.
They took that one out of the mix.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, but going to Chiefs games in the 90s and early 2000s with that prior to kickoff and after touchdowns, it was awesome. It really was.
Drew will never remember those times.
Nostalgia is hitting us here.
Yeah. Yeah. And since we're talking about stadiums. Now give us some renderings today, please. Spec Bright, a cold beverage?
I think we ballparked them to be around this sort of time frame, like June, July. I don't remember the day exactly. Like maybe it was June 21st, actually, the first day of summer, where we thought it could have been before. Evidently not.
All right, coming up next, guys, let's talk more about the U.S. men's national team. They're going to face Bosnia on Wednesday, and now the path looks a little bit tougher than we thought. Plus, we didn't get to it there, but a player that might be talking himself out of the NFL.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
The biggest stage in world soccer continues, and every goal changes everything. And now FanDuel's giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. You bet on a match, get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right, more goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get on the Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. The U.S. playing on Wednesday night, as we're going to talk about here in just a bit, against Bosnia. Let there be goals on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family-owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Country music superstar Luke Bryan. Live. Word on the Street Tour. July 9th, Morton Amphitheater. With special guests, Shane Prophet, Ray Lynn, Lauren Watkins, and DJ Rock. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Luke Bryan in concert.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Future you wants to have fun on the 4th, so get set in one stop at Target's 4th of July sale. Get 40% off women's dresses, skirts, and shorts. And for the kiddos, shorts are 20% off. What's a celebration without something tasty? Frozen treats are BOGO 25% off. Plus, you save 30% on soda 12 packs when you buy 3. Have fun all weekend long. Shop Target's 4th of July sale. And Saturday, restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
$11 o'clock hour. It's Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Hope you're having a good Monday again. Full show back together. Cody back from a trip down to Dallas for dance recitals and competitions and whatever else.
I'm back.
Did you guys do anything fun while you're there? Like other
There's
than
not. No, I mean they went to the pool a lot. We went to we went to like a cool museum or whatever too, and like we did some of that stuff. But I mean, for the most part, it was a relatively relaxed trip. It was also kind of weird because my daughter's dance studio is closing up shop.
Right.
So the small group that they were all knew it was ending. So there were a lot of emotions as a part of this trip.
Gosh.
Everybody was in their feels, which makes sense.
Yeah, no,
they've been
it
dancing
is.
together for years and years and years, and so now no more this group of dancers. And then they were all at my house on Saturday for a sleepover for my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
She had to do her birthday after we get back because the timing didn't work out. It was the loudest environment I've been in since the 2014 wildcard game.
Oh, no.
It was so loud. I could be floors away. It made no difference in the volume. I made the mistake of getting them a small karaoke machine.
Oh, this sounds like being miserable.
And that got used quite a bit. I did let them stay up as late, like they stayed up and they, like all the normals. It was just so loud. It was crazy loud. And the amount of times...
Did you just go lock yourself in your room?
I tried to go down to the basement for a little bit in case they needed something. For a while, I think my name got said, Cody, 4,000 times from some, different kids. But it was like, oh, man, I'm so tired. And I thought, this was my childhood? Because I grew up in a huge house. I'm like, you just voluntarily did this to yourself? This is what it was like all the time as a kid, and now I can't remember it? Because you just get used to having a relatively normal environment. It's loud with 2 kids anyway, man. With 7 kids all between the age of 10 and 15 shouting wicked karaoke, got loud. Got loud in the Tapp household. But we survived. She had fun, and now I'm back.
There you go. Yeah. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we'll get to the trash of the day. We know on Wednesday night, U.S. men's national team going to face off against Bosnia in the first of their knockout stage, hopefully the first of many knockout stage games. Don't forget, by the way, come enjoy the U.S. soccer game with us at the Peanut on State Line this Wednesday night. We're all going to be there. So a lot of people asking, Drew will be there. I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Cody's going to be there.
I'm bringing the Vuvuzela as well.
You're bringing back the Vuvuzela.
The Vuvuzela
I believe, honestly, I think everybody from the station is going to be there. So
as far as I know.
As far as we know, everybody's going to be there. So an opportunity, I think the game starts at 7. So just come hang out with us. The Peanut on State Line. Drew and I talked a little bit about the possibility of playing Bosnia last week because we already kind of knew that. But now we know the full path. And look, it's never going to be easy. You're talking about a tournament. It's the same thing when we talk about March Madness. You get down to the Elite 8 and Final 4, you're going to play some of the best teams, in this case, countries in the world. But there was a point in time where it looked like the path to even the semis was going to be really favorable. Now their path, if the chalk holds, upsets happen. It's Bosnia, it's Belgium, it's Spain, it's France, it's Argentina. Eventually you're going to have to play France or Argentina.
But that's a hell of a path, man.
Even Belgium. I think Belgium beat the U.S. 5-2 earlier this year in late March.
Depending on how the U.S. looks against Bosnia, I actually think the U.S. will be a slight favorite against Belgium, depending on how they look. Yeah, slight favorite. If you look at the betting markets right now for the U.S. to get to the quarterfinals, they're like plus 110, which tells me, which would require them to beat, of course, Bosnia and Belgium. So if they're plus 110 to get to the quarters, that to me tells me they would be a slight favorite against Belgium if they look good against Bosnia, which we'll see.
Which they looked good in the matches in which they had their full suite of players and weren't trying to actively avoid any kind of yellow-red card situations that would play it out. I saw a couple of idiots nationwide be like, why wouldn't they play them if this is the most important event? Because they don't want their players to miss time for the possibility. You have to avoid the getting a red card part of it. I understand the frustration, but this is it. Look, I like their odds against Bosnia. After that, I think you just got to chalk it up. If you get past that, nice World Cup. You did it.
Yeah, I would love, though,
it
to
doesn't
see
mean
the
I don't
US
want them to make a run, and this is the best they've looked probably in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But then that path makes me think, I don't think this can't be it, right? This can't be the time. This can't be the magical run, can it? If they're going to have to go through pretty much every soccer powerhouse known to man for the last decade?
Tim Howard said they'd have to play 4 of the best matches they've ever played in U.S. history in a row. They'd have to play 5 now with Belgium having to go through them. They'd have to play 5 of the greatest matches that they've ever played before in Team USA history to win it. It's not... Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brutal path for them. Now, I will say how cool will it be if the U.S. could get to a match against Spain or France, because just seeing, I don't know about if there's, which game would you, I know one would mean you're in the semis, another one would mean you're in the finals, talking about Argentina. But in general, just as somebody casually watching, the U.S. going up against, Mbappe in France to me would be just an incredible moment. I don't think we will like the result of said game, but like that, would it be Messi more for you? Like seeing the U.S. though go up against Yamal or Mbappe or Messi would just be insane.
Yes, because it's all the players, it's the stars of the world. Now, the U.S. has their single probably biggest star in a very long time. And so Pulisic is at least bigger than most American soccer stars they've had in some time because he's big in the bigger leagues. But at the same time, it's like the path just feels like it got harder than it used to be. And so I do care. And look, the schedule gets crazy from here. We got a match in what, an hour?
Yep.
Between Brazil-Japan, which should be awesome. Yep. Odds on that, by the way, Brazil's minus 300, Japan plus 230. Don't be surprised we see an upset there. And then Germany, Paraguay, Netherlands, Morocco. We had the Dutch club KC on our show Friday, Cody, and we didn't realize, they were telling us like that's a pretty big rivalry. There's a lot of there's a huge Moroccan population inside the Netherlands. They were mentioning to us as well. So that's almost a coin flip, close to a coin flip type of game odds wise. And then tomorrow we get Ivory Coast, Norway to kick things off. But just for the U.S., if people wanted to see from a betting perspective, kind of the futures moving forward to reach the round of 16, which would mean getting past
one more win,
Bosnia. The United States is minus 550, so heavy favorites to win Wednesday. They lose to Bosnia, and it cancels out all the goodwill they've built. So that just cannot happen. To reach the quarterfinals, the United States is plus 110. So that would mean beating Belgium, we think, based on chalk, and then to get to the semis, which would likely mean beating Spain as well. They're plus 480.
But so France is the favorite, Argentina the second favorite. Spain, the third favorite. I mean, these are the teams that could all face after this. They are favored higher than anybody else. They're 25-1, Belgium's 40-1. So, they are favored to at least get to 8. And look, if you get to 8, who cares? Genuinely. If you get past Bosnia and then you get past Belgium and you are one of the final 8 teams, you've accomplished what you need to accomplish for the men's program.
It'll be the second time they've ever done it.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. men's national team has never really accomplished anything of note in any capacity. That would be a massive win for the program.
No, the context of that is noted and is absolutely a huge factor. Drew and I were talking last week that other than maybe March Madness, there's very few events in the world where going into the tournament, a country in this case would say, you know what, it's okay if we don't even get to the Final Four.
I know.
And we do that. There's very few
college sports and this kind of thing where we accept it.
But I don't disagree with you, and that we all know where the U.S. men's national team has been when it comes to soccer. So, yeah, I mean, a quarterfinal appearance would be incredible, let alone anything more than that. So.
Bosnia, by the way, is 500-1.
to win the whole thing. Yeah, they're gonna lose to the U.S.
They're like 55th in the world. The U.S. I think is like 13th right now or something like that.
The U.S. has no business losing Wednesday night.
Yep.
No, they don't. We'll see you at the Peanut.
Yeah, on State Line, by the way.
So at least we can.
State Line. Drew has promised to use the Vuvuzela.
I'm bringing the Vuvuzela. They might be handing them out too. Somebody had asked about that. They were handing them out at the Peanut the last time.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how I got it. So
I don't know if they will. I'm not sure.
But yes, I will bring mine.
Thanks, Drew. Really looking forward to the.
I was not ignorant with it. I only played it when they scored goals.
Okay.
It wasn't obnoxious.
Okay.
He saved it for relevant, celebration times.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Let's talk about a different sport altogether. Get to the NFL side of things. Where one thing while I was gone was there were like 400 videos from Brandon Ayuk, including another one this weekend. I was on record as saying, hey, take a shot on a guy. Used to be a former number one. Since you're going to be available for cheap, I'm off that boat. He might be flushing his entire NFL career down the drain because he doesn't know to stop talking.
Yeah.
To stop talking. This was him on another video this weekend.
Yeah, this is only part of it, too.
All right, y'all. So I would never, ever, ever. I would never, ever, ever. I don't care how long I gotta wait to get to you, my baby. But if it involves first, I'm waiting. The same general manager that tried to run me down and come apologize for his head coach, because his head coach got a temperament of a toddler and was speaking out the side of his mouth to me, knowing that you got it, bro. You got it, bro. What I'm gonna do in here, beat you up? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You just talking crazy because you know you can talk crazy. But you feel me? Don't respect me. The story is I don't and I never will. But I forgive. You feel me? You feel me? I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to heal. We is not cool. We won't be cool, and I will never be stepping in that building except for on October 19th when I come through with that belt.
Well.
That one got a little. That one got a little bleeped.
I'm gonna hit the dump button on that last one,
just to be safe.
I'm gonna hit the dump button.
I
there.
can hear it, but we had
too loud.
headphones.
He overdid the bleep sound effect. Goodness.
Yeah.
Look, the point being,
settle down, Brandon.
You knew that I genuinely had kind of been on board with the idea of like taking a shot at him. He can't stop talking. He didn't learn lesson number 1 of PR, which is just shut up. Like, just be quiet and say nothing and hope people forget that you stopped showing up to work and the team didn't want you even though they asked you to be back. Look, I don't know what the Niners are doing. Holding on, not just releasing the guy. You have no interest in him. He might not even sign with another team. I think he's actively trying to convince the Commanders publicly to take a shot on him. But the more he talks, why would they? This is a really weird, and I can't think of another example like this in a long time, where I at least think there's a 25% chance Brandon Ayuk never plays another snap in the NFL. Is that too high?
No, I think there's a real possibility that the more he keeps talking, he is going to talk himself out of the league. I still think we're at a point. Take the Niners out for a second, because remember, they have full control. They can play this stuff. They can say, hey, you want to mess with us? We'll mess with you. He's on this list that doesn't – he has a $13 million cap hit. There's no guaranteed money left. They can also play hardball here and say, fine, we're not going to let you play, period.
I would just want to be free of it.
So would I, but – I always wonder, is there some team that says the skill is worth it? Problem is for him, he hasn't played in 2 years on top of all this, and it's post-injury. Where's he at? But these videos that are coming out, absolutely are damaging for his career. I mean, if it feels like if the Commanders don't want to take a shot on him, then maybe he is done in the league. We've seen guys get second chances so many times though, so I don't know if I'm willing to go to the full extent of, he's got a more likely chance to not be in the league than
real question
than in the league. But I agree with you. I mean, I think there's a legitimate. What did you say? 20%? Yeah, I think there's absolutely probably 20-25% chance that he doesn't play in the league.
I think what stands out to me is you can't talk like this. You better still be good. How about that? Because he hasn't played football in a year and a half. Gold, he gets out there for some he gets cut and he gets out there for some workout with the Commanders and the guy can't move or looks fat or looks slow or doesn't move the way he used to move. Well, they're not going to take on the trouble then. He better still at least be talented, because if the talent has waned in even a little way and he just doesn't look like the same player as he was when he was playing in the NFL, well, then no one's going to take a chance on him. And he's going to have to go choose the UFL or CFL, who I saw, by the way, over the week, is not even going to let Sorsby play.
Correct.
He screwed himself bad on this one. Another thing where I think if he had just taken the punishment, started doing tours about like how gambling in youth can be dangerous and had just gone that route instead, he might have had a chance to be in one of these leagues, but instead he decided to like try to punish everybody for the mistakes he made. But it's just like, I think there's a chance he just never plays again. And I'm certainly not interested in Kansas City anymore. There was a time in which you could have talked me into that being a reasonable risk. It is no longer a reasonable risk to me. He seems like he could be a complete vibes killer, team killer. Like, it just doesn't feel like the kind of person you want to stick onto a roster.
Is some team desperate
Commanders
enough?
might be. That's a coach and a GM who are on thin ice.
And then remember, the 49ers don't have to do anything. They can play this out. He's on a specific. Brandon Ayuk's on a. It's not the commissioner's list. It's a different list, but basically, it's like they may not have to pay out the money. I can't remember what it is. There was some reporting out in San Francisco where because he didn't show up, like they don't owe, like you have to still show up to work to get paid, kind of thing. I can't remember what there's a list that he's on where the $13 million cap hit may not even actually count. So they can play this out as long as they want. His current deal, he's under team control through 2028.
I know. It's so weird. Some of it is just, even if you hated Team Gold, why not just show up to work and make them pay you? You know? That's how you, like.
He's on the reserve/left squad list.
Okay. so, like, show back up to work, and they'll have to cut you because they're not going to sit on this contract and pay you $13 million to play for him all year. Show up to work. Practice, do all this.
But they don't want him. His salary. They don't want his salary. Does not count. Yeah, I found it here. It does not count against the cap or the active roster limit.
I know.
He's a non-factor for them. He's just a lame duck, and they control his rights. They can screw him over the way he screwed them over if they want. Yep. We'll see. As you said, eventually they just want to say, "All right, we're just completely done."
I would just want to be done with it.
But he's talked so much smack on them that, yeah, there's a chance that they say, "Oh, fine, you want to earn money? You don't want to play football anymore? We'll make sure you don't."
I don't think it should happen all the time because then I think people would expose it as a possible loophole for getting players out of there. But I think if we offered a team a once every 5 or once every 10-year exemption where you can, if a player stopped showing up to work, you could just wash him out without any of the contract stuff, he'd have been gone already. And they wouldn't have to deal with this
But they can now. That's what I'm saying. There's no more guaranteed money left on his contract. And right now, he's not counting against the cap or the roster limit. The only reason why they haven't moved on from him is because they want to get something for him, is my guess. But who the hell's giving up anything?
I don't know. No one. You can't give up anything.
Nope.
I barely think you can even trouble yourself to sign the guy, let alone actually take a risk at doing it. I'd be much more. And again, the Chiefs haven't signed any other wide receivers, so maybe
he said if the Niners cut him, he'll sign with the Commanders tomorrow. That was the quote from last week.
I'm sure he would. Will they sign him?
He's been wearing Commanders gear.
The problem for him is
they've been awfully quiet on that, though, Drew.
Correct. Yeah, they haven't said anything.
Adam Peters is the GM in Washington. We all know he used to be with the front office with San Francisco. He's still close with John Lynch, and after all this, like, why he wants
to
want
to take Ayuk on?
Yeah, I don't think the Commanders want him either.
This is one of those like he's saying something that he wants but requires multiple people to want. It'd be like Alex saying, "I want to date a supermodel." The supermodel also has to be interested in order for that. You can't just shout things and they just come true.
Thank you for that example. I appreciate that.
He can say whatever. Look, maybe that'll happen for you. Maybe Ayuk will sign with the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still a two-way street is the point. Like, and he's saying it like, well, I'll just sign with the Commanders tomorrow. Like, I'm sure you would go play with Jaden Daniels in an offense that could use another wide receiver. Like, yeah, I'm sure. But do they want you anywhere near their franchise? And right now, my answer would be no.
Trash of the day.
All right, couple options for us on the trash of the day. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to Tacoma, Washington to start us off today. A police stop near Tacoma late Wednesday night. Eventually, it led to a DUI arrest, all right? But here's where it all began. The incident with an off-duty police officer was heading home for the day, saw the driver using the shoulder on I-5, which, of course, obviously is going to prompt some attention. After pulling the car over, the officer found a driver who not only appeared quite intoxicated, Cody, but was entirely naked. So this dude was driving drunk while naked in the vehicle. The driver provided a preliminary breath test result of 0.21, was arrested for,
That's quite over.
0.21.
Not 0.02.
0.21, and was arrested for DUI.
Triple the legal limit?
And the naked part, did this person just hop in their car, want to drive? Were they already at, like, where were they drinking? They were naked, right? How long have they been They weren't at the bar and stripped down right after. Were they at home drinking and just hopped in the car and wanted to go somewhere?
Yeah, that's a good question. Or was it like they thought it'd be funny in the car to get naked? I don't know, man.
You ever drive around naked, Cody?
Can't say that I have.
Okay.
I've done some, when I was younger, I have done some things that I would not recommend anybody do in a car as far as like danger goes. Not sexually explicit things. But like, I told you about the time I drove down to the Gulf of Mexico and didn't tell my parents. We were driving, we wanted to get down there as fast as possible. There's 3 of us in the car. We wanted to keep driving and not stop in order to do it. And I, one time in a car, put it in cruise control, held the steering wheel for someone while they climbed to the back seat, the driver. I then climbed to the driver's seat, and a person in the back seat then went to the passenger seat in a full switch.
You guys couldn't have pulled over for 1 minute. For 2 minutes.
17-year-olds.
That is pretty insane.
18-year-olds are stupid. And they do stupid things.
But hey, it works.
I already told you it was stupid. I mean, worked is relative. We didn't crash the car, thankfully.
Yeah.
But we're incredibly fortunate that was the case. Best guess, Gold, is that they got super drunk, didn't have clothes on, hopped in the car, thought they could get through a drive-thru without anybody noticing. You know?
Yeah.
That's my best guess. What was the second one?
The other one, I don't want to do that one. That's another same theme. Same theme.
Similar theme.
Yeah. Okay. We could go.
In the car, the no clothes.
As in another drunk driver thing. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Too many. Somebody's now asking me on the text line, come on, Cody, what's the most illegal thing you have done in a car?
I mean, that might be it,
Do they
actually.
rank them?
All right, here you go. I got
based on
for you.
illegality?
Here you go, Cody. Maybe you might be interested in doing this.
Okay.
There's a new magic mushroom.
Oh, God.
That makes users see tiny gnome people. Scientists have no idea how it's doing it. People are seeing tiny people when they're on these shrooms. There's a new psychoactive agent. A study published last month has unearthed new details on how one freaky fungus makes those who ingest it hallucinate
Everybody who
teeny
takes it?
tiny people all around them. Something that no other shroom is known to do. It takes about a half hour. Most of those who eat it report none of this. But on this one, this is the only fungus, let alone food on the planet, known to produce such hallucination that people see a bunch of tiny little people.
Honestly, here's the thing. I'm too old for let's try new psychoactive drugs.
I'm good as well.
I'm 41 years old. I can't be taking a mushroom on a casual Saturday. That's no good. That's no good.
Your entire Saturday is you're just going to sit there and see a bunch of tiny little gnome things.
No. And someone's got to be sober around you, making sure you're not getting any kind of trouble, not doing what the previous guy just did. You know, like, it's just the setup of it. You got to get a sitter, this, that. I'd have to do months worth of work just to even do it.
That would be insane. So what's Dad doing?
Then you just stay the night so he can see gnomes. While he takes shrooms.
Yeah.
That's no good. That's just no good. Somebody says, there is nothing new. Somebody says, look at the other stuff. There's, magic elves and all kinds of nonsense. Whew.
I don't get that.
You don't get the appeal?
Yeah.
I imagine when you're on it, it's more appealing than,
yeah.
than the thought going into it,
Someone says, I did that shroom last night. I started laughing at my son, asking why he was so short. He's now 6'4". Someone says, please, Cody, I'm 62 years old in a week. I'd eat a mushroom
I actually think it's easier the older you get. There's like a window of time in which your kids are young and you're stuck at a middle-aged time when it should be, I believe,
Mad Dog talks about taking gummies all the time.
Gummies to me is a different level than going mushrooms.
Like I know, but I mean, if you're open about talking about gummies, then it's no problem. I mean, imagine.
Yeah, but gummies. Yeah, I mean, gummies are legal in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I don't think the shrooms aren't shrooms only legal in like 1 or 2 states, or am I off on that? Aren't there a couple states where mushrooms are legal?
I don't know.
If they're the same, Drew, the Twitch said try both and then report back to us.
You might not.
You might not, Drew. Drew's going to be Don Draper. Just going to be in like California for a month. We'll just never hear from him again.
Yeah, then I'll just show back up.
This says everywhere mushrooms are illegal, so there you go.
Everywhere?
Therapeutic use in Colorado and Oregon, I guess, for small amounts of certain mushrooms. I don't know. Just a quick Google search.
I'm not going to look that up. I don't know. I'm not going to do any kind of research into it. How about that?
Yeah.
To confirm your quick search.
Up next, let's get to the Chiefs Red half hour and talk about the secondary and the pass rush a little bit. And we are about a month out, guys. 1 month, actually, to the day until training camp. So we'll talk about one of the second storylines that I think people will be discussing when we get to Saint Joe next.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is on its way. I think we're feeling it right now, maybe even in the building a little bit. Well, the guys over at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. That's 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit climatecontrolkc.com today. Climate Control, heating, cooling, and plumbing.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Jackson County Parks Plus Rec, there are countless ways to make your day.
Ooh, that's a great shot.
Take the Fred Arbanis Golf Course with 18 holes of championship-level golf and panoramic views of Longview Lake. It's no wonder GolfLink has named it the #1 public golf course in Missouri.
Way to sink it.
Nice birdie. The Fred Arbanis Golf Course at Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Resort feel, affordable play. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. You guys can always interact with us on the J Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965. Video stream is up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. I will say it is cooled down in the studio.
It is quite a bit more comfortable than even the beginning of the show.
The AC went out, we think, over the weekend or something. And so when the morning show arrived, it might have been 85 or 90 degrees in this building, in this studio. And so we were not sure what the show setup was going to look like. We got a fan on it. Actually, I'll admit, right this second, doesn't feel too bad anymore in here. The hallway in the bullpen, what we call our bullpen area, is still very muggy and hot. This studio, manageable. Not too bad.
It's
much better than it was 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago.
Yes. And again, I told you my AC was out before I went out of town, so I guess I had gotten used to just sitting in it. It was quite uncomfortable when we first got here, to the point that you and I left. Gold, we took off before the show even started.
Well,
we'll come back.
We met and did the rest of our show stuff pre-show.
Yeah,
somewhere else.
But it does feel like the AC is finally actually working a little.
There was. I mean, I think one of our sister stations, the morning show, one of our sister stations.
One of the bosses in the building said, "Get out of here."
Yeah, that's how it was. I guess it was really, really bad this morning, and it was when we showed up. But it feels like we're headed in the right direction. That's for sure.
You think we're going to be okay?
Yeah, we're good now. I mean, in here actually doesn't feel that bad anymore.
No, now it feels all right.
Feels fairly normal.
I will say it was like the first time in a long time I didn't pack a random hoodie, because I feel like it's
no need for that.
The temperature swings in this building are pretty wild. But I had a text from Mac at 6:45 this morning that said, "It is unbearably hot in here."
I knew something was when Dusty. I was not awake at 6:45, but I woke up and saw that I had a missed call from Dusty at 6:45 in the morning. I was like, what is going on? I woke up and then I saw our group chat. I had text from you and Bob and Dusty and Mac. I was like, what is going on?
Word was spreading.
I was up at, the dog wakes me up at 4 a.m. or whatever. So I let her out at 4 and then I go back to bed for, 3 hours or whatever and try to get the final bit of sleep. But anyway, everything seems to be good. All right, let's talk a little Chiefs football, though. Before we get to training camp, which is a month from today.
That's right.
We'll be up there. Let's talk about, we are. I think 15 shows maybe. We'll get our
15?
I think. We'll get our full schedule.
You
ready?
12.
You ready?
Yeah! Camp! We'll see you up there. I honestly, once it starts happening, I just kind of get used to it. But I'm not going to pretend like I look forward to it either. But that might just be from somebody who's attended 200 training camp practices. I don't know.
Still trying to get Drew up there
at this point in my life. You're going once, Drew.
We're getting him up there once.
We're going to make things uncomfortable. Let's talk about the Chiefs and where they sit. And I guess I guess at the end of this season, to me, is a answer for how good I think they'll be. Because deciding how good they are on defense, I think you have to answer this question first, which is, will the secondary or the pass rush be the better unit by the time the season ends? And for a number of years, the secondary has been the better unit. I think that kind of question has been the better unit. They did spend the 6th overall pick on Mansour Lane, so you would think maybe that covers for some of losing All-Pro Trent McDuffie, but doesn't answer for they're missing Jalen Watson, they're missing other pieces, and that the secondary looks different. And as you know, they spent a first and a second round pick and get the third-round pick from last year healthy again, hopefully, and Omar Norman Lott. By the end of the season, I actually think we're going to say that the pass rush is the better unit, which I think it needs to be for this team to be in the top 5 defensive end. I think they can be a top 10 defense if the secondary is the better unit, but they got to be somewhat close. The investment has been in the pass rush. They have spent a innumerable amount of picks and still have some high-priced talent in Chris Jones and George Karlaftis on the line. There's no reason for me to think they'd be the more experienced unit in at least half of it. The secondary is all new. How are they going to be the better unit when none of them have played together, Gold? I feel like I got to answer that question before I decide how good the defense is going to be.
Yeah, I think for this unit, what's more impactful if they figure out a way to be productive, of course, is the defensive line. And yeah, resource-wise, while it was a 6th-round pick, as you said, for Delane, the defensive line, there's way more resources that have been invested. Plain and simple. It is not only the Chris Jones contract that has a $40+ million cap hit this year. George Karlaftis, while the contract itself is not a problem, it still is a high-price contract. They've committed a 1st-round pick to Woods. They've committed a 2nd-round pick to R. Mason Thomas. They went out and signed a free agent in Tonga to a 2-year contract. So this is where they have put most of their resources. The secondary, the 6th overall pick stands out, but after that, they really don't have a ton of resources invested. Noah Williams was the draft pick, but he wasn't a first or 2nd-round pick, right? He was a much later mid-round pick. Yeah, so
something like that.
Jalen Watson is gone. You've got Christian Fulton. Okay, you signed him to a 2-year, $20 million contract. So that might actually be, other than Delane, might be where you've actually spent the most in terms of the secondary. Like, Alohi Gilman is a nice player, but it's not an expensive contract.
No, Snead was cheap. Alohi Gilman was cheap.
I think the defensive line would be the answer.
Williams, by the way.
Third, okay. Defensive line is where you would want the production to come from because of the resources, and also I just think it has a bigger impact on every down basis. Yes, secondary can give your pass rush some more time, but I think if you had to pick what needs to be better for this defense to be a top 10 defense, something like that, it would be getting pressure on the quarterback. And specifically, can things open up for Chris Jones again, even at his age? And maybe Tonga and Woods can do that.
I think that they're just so much more deep on paper than they've been. And look, I can admit, not just with the, this is like all sports, it is easy to fall into the trap of saying, look how good the Royals roster is, 1 through 26. The bench is better, or the running back depth is better, without talking about top-end talent, which is what you and I both know is the thing that moves the needle. How much top-end talent do the Chiefs have on the defensive line? They have Chris Jones. The other top-end talent, if they have it, has not revealed itself to be that. They have good talent in George Karlaftis. I believe you should be able to count on at least good talent out of Peter Woods and R. Mason Thomas, just based on where they were drafted. Maybe not R. Mason, he's a 2nd-round pick. That could be longer to develop. But Peter Woods was a 1st-round pick in the interior. I think I should be able to count on at least good talent. But they only have one top-end talented player. How many top-end talented players do they have in the secondary? Well, one. Mansour's got to count. You can take in 6th overall. I'm just going to put you in that category kind of right away. But that's the end of the list there, too, right? Nobody we can say that for sure about at safety. None of the other corners we can comfortably say that about. So they're kind of working, I guess, in similar pools, where if there is another top-end talented player to exist, I think it is more likely to come out of the defensive line because I like the depth better. I like the players behind.
Better. By the way, Cody, it better. I mean, we've already mentioned this year's capital, but so you go through, it's R. Mason Thomas, it's Peter Woods from just this year. But last year, Gelati and Omar Norman Lott, like somebody has to emerge out of that group. Otherwise, it's a big problem for them long term. We've talked about it from this year only, which is how many of those guys can get you to 4 or 5 sacks? How many of those guys can help you eat toward the total of whatever you think they need to get to? Was it 50 sacks or 47 sacks? Whatever you think the number needs to be as a group. And the big chunk needs to come from Jones and Karlaftis. But who else is capable of getting 5 or more sacks? Or is it going to be 3 players get you 4 sacks? I think still out of the group that has a chance to have the most sacks outside of Karlaftis and Jones, I would probably, and we can talk more about this when we're in St. Joe for camp, but I think Gelati is the answer to that. Just based on what we saw as he got better, I felt like throughout the year. Omar Norman Lott just still a bit of a wild card. He wasn't healthy.
I know it. And look, it doesn't have to be a sack thing. Peter Woods has got to be an immediate impact player. You take a guy in the first round on a defensive line that doesn't have that much competition with it. I understand they got Tonga and some other guys, but Tonga is a true 40% rotational defensive line. We don't have to pretend like he's something that he isn't. And so, if you're that type of player, there are more than enough snaps for Peter Woods to be a regular part of this line and needed to be. And look, Omar Norman-Lott and Gelati and R. Mason Thomas too, maybe to less effect because of where they were drafted or some of the things we've already seen. But there really is, genuinely plenty of opportunity for most of those guys. On the secondary, I'm genuinely hoping they're just a good unit. I'll take just solid. Just be a solid unit. Dave Merritt's a great coach. Spags is a great designer of a scheme. Just do your job. Don't screw this thing up, and you guys will be fine. Just be a perfectly fine unit. I'd like the defensive line to, by at least the end of the year, to be slightly above average or above average, right? They don't need to be great yet. That's asking too much of first and second year players. And you and I both know it takes 3, sometimes 4 years for defensive linemen to truly develop. It really does. And that's fine. To develop into massive players. They can have 4 sacks, 5 sacks, but they can't have 12.
Points per game wise, remember last year the defense actually was a top 10 defense. If you're just talking about points per game, I think we feel like it was way worse than that even. But no, this was a top 10 defense.
Even with their issues.
6th in the league. You know, they were the 9th best defense against the run, 12th against the pass. Total defense was right at 10th. It's the sacks though, because we know some of that I still feel like is a little misleading. We know they could not get off the field on third downs. And that was a big problem. And how do you get off the field on third downs? Usually it's getting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, typically. But it's also, and some third down stats support them a little bit, but then fourth down was worse. And you and I say, any amount of people converting 3rd and 15 on you feels too high. It doesn't even matter what the percentage is. It feels too high. And it was far too often in important moments that people understood that they could take advantage of it over and over and over again. And so, I feel like that's a good question to answer first before you decide how good the defense will be. They haven't been outside the top 10 defensively in years. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Since Spags came across, they've been a top 5 defense plenty of times, top 10 defense pretty much the entire time. There might be one singular year, maybe, where they finished outside the top 10. But one thing that changed, though, and then we can move on to something else, was in the first 2 or 3 years of Spags, in the first 2 or 3 years, they were slow starting and then came around. In the last 2 years, they've just been good from jump. So, I don't know what's the more true or telling argument for it, but that is a notable change.
And Chris Jones, he'll be 32 years old, during this season. He turns 32 actually on, what is that? On Friday, actually. So happy early birthday. Do you have a song ready for Chris Jones?
Happy birthday, Christopher Jones.
His birthday is Friday. Anyway, he's 32, basically.
I had to think about it.
And he had 7 sacks last year. He had 5 the year before. And I think some of this, no doubt, is the lack of attention other guys are getting on the defensive line. But at 32, I don't think we should be expecting Chris Jones to go out there anymore and be a 10 or 12 sack guy. I think we're past that. But he was 7 last year. He needs to be closer to 9 or 10, though, still. And, you can say that's unfair, but $43 million cap hit.
I think 10. 10 is a number. I think that's a fair number to put him at.
I think 10 would be a great sign for them. He had 10.5 back in 2023, but again, he was not 30. He wasn't even 30 years old yet. Is he capable at 32 of being a double-digit sack guy still?
Yes is the answer, I think, but it is probably fringe.
Can he be fresher because of Woods and Tonga? We know he wore down. In some of the Jags game was the prime example.
The people behind him stunk.
He was exhausted in the Jacksonville game.
He was.
That's why it was a bad look when he was standing around on the play. He was exhausted.
Yeah, and he got burnt a couple times where he got caught napping a little bit, and especially as the team in the season got worse and the things that came with it. And so all of that stuff plays a factor. And we'll see whether or not he's able to actually do it. But that's just kind of where the secondary stuff is, at least for now. Meanwhile, you mentioned it is 1 month, and we will be out in St. Joseph, Missouri for Chiefs training camp. Obviously, you're home for Chiefs football right here on 96.5.
Camp questions, cloudy with a chance.
All these different people you can play my hut to get an idea of my quarterback cadence. Maybe I should practice it before you play it for more Kansas City Chiefs players. Either way, we'll be out at camp here pretty soon. And I was trying to figure out in my own head, too, the same as you. I think you and I both know the number one training camp question for all of training camp is, how is Patrick Mahomes' leg? It's fine. That's the number one question for the team this year. Is he playing week 1? Is he not playing week 1? How healthy is he? How does he look? Is he run? Whatever. It's his knee. It is how long until he comes back. That's the number one thing to pay attention to. Number 2 is a cacophony, in my opinion, of nonsense. But I think it is the wide receiver unit with Rice and Worthy and more offseason nonsense and the players that they didn't really try to change the unit in any particular way. I am paying more attention to them this year than any other training camp story, I think, outside of Mahomes. I think there's some other arguments for some other units, but for me, it is the wide receivers. I think that they are training camp story number 2.
I mean, I will say in fairness, you know this, we've been to enough camp, that wide receivers is always going to be toward the top of the list because it's just an easier position for us to visually discuss.
Yes,
because we're at camp, you can tell when Xavier Worthy connects on a deep pass.
I have a hard time knowing 7-on-7 if the linebackers look good.
Exactly, or even offensive linemen. Like the hand placement. Like that's stuff that's not great to talk about on the radio to begin with. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think wide receiver is fascinating once again for them. But I'll be honest, at the same time, Xavier Worthy looking good at training camp doesn't mean anything to me. We've seen it,
agree.
Cody. I've seen the offense look amazing in camp and like, wow, look at the deep threats down the field and the speed. And then we get to the regular season and it's semi-non-existent. So I'll take a little bit with a grain of salt. If we're just talking individual players, yeah, I think people want to see if Rashee Rice is available on day one.
Can stay out of trouble.
And if he looks, that is an obvious. I'm talking about on the field. Of course, the off the field stuff.
Is Mansour Delane?
Yeah.
One of the 5 biggest camp storylines?
Yeah, I think people want to see right now. Does he just look already like he is one of the best corners on a football field, period.
Kenneth Walker?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the other ones I would have made an argument for instead of wide receiver. Because Ken Walker feels like the obvious number 2 in my opinion, and I went to wide receiver. But it sounds like you agree with me.
Camp this year is far more interesting than we've had in a little while. It just is. I know last year's camp was coming off the Super Bowl beatdown and losing to the Eagles. This year, you're coming off a 6-win season. You had all these draft picks. You traded up in the draft to get Delane. You had 2 first-round picks. You don't have McDuff anymore. You have a brand-new starting running back that you paid top dollar for. Camp this year is far more fascinating than we've had in a while.
Because and that goes back to, like, we could choose the storylines a lot of different ways. Because I could argue the second biggest storyline is, are they doing different things on offense in training camp that they haven't been doing? Do we see them line up more under center? Do we see only Walker and RPO? Like, what are some of the formations they show when they get to 11 on 11? What kind of things do they actually do in camp that either change the way they look? Because one thing that I think absolutely needs to come back to this offense is the screen game. It's crazy to me how when you and I first started this show, and the few years before that, one of the main things we knew about the Chiefs offense is they were the best screen team in the NFL. Nobody could dial up a running back screen like the Chiefs. Oh, they'd fool you every time. A free 10 or 15. It's not even a part of their offense. Not that they do it less, Gold. It is non-existent. They have shifted instead to being the team that throws the quick wide receiver screens or like end arounds with wide receivers. They're the end around team now. Rather than actually throw screens to running backs, they just have, McCole Hardman run in motion and hand it off to him, or Xavier Worthy and hand it off to him, rather than do what we used to be a portion of their offense. I can make an argument that scheme, specifically offensive scheme, matters, but I run into a problem with what you just said with Xavier Worthy, which is they can hand it off to Kenneth Walker 4,000 times in training camp. Does that tell me if that's what they're going to do week 1? Can I be sure that...
take a lot of that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's the young players at camp, and it's any of the new pieces. But I do think this year's camp will be more intriguing than what we've had in a while. Just as you said, number 1, it's Mahomes, of course. Just how does he look, and is he out there day one of training camp? Is he off to the side getting work? Whatever it might be. I think that, even on a smaller, and I think some people just want to see if there's during preseason. I don't think they'll show it, but Justin Fields, your number 2 quarterback, but will they have a package designed for him? And if they do, they even show it at all? Or do you just save, if I'm the Chiefs, I just save it completely? There's 2 ways. You could say we show it in camp to make teams have to prepare for it.
You got to practice it, but I'm certainly not using it in a preseason football game.
Or you do, and you want them to think about it, the Broncos to think about the opening game of the season. I don't know.
Look, if I'm the Chiefs, I don't think it actually serves people much good this is one of the few cases in which I think the Broncos not knowing who you're going to start could actually serve a benefit. Because that is a wildly different game to prepare for.
I don't think Sean Payne's not stupid. They will be preparing for Patrick Mahomes to start week 1 against them.
You think so?
Yeah.
And just deal with the Justin Fields part of it if it comes to fruition?
Yeah.
That's what I'd probably do, honestly. It's easier to last minute prepare for Justin Fields than it is the other way.
Yeah. Did you see thinking of camp, we always have weird weather when we're up at training camp and stuff. You know, sometimes we have to drive back from camp in the middle of the show because of thunderstorms.
Yep.
I don't know if we'll have to deal with this. Did you see this? I saw from Nick Bender over at Channel 9. Saharan dust is about to spread across Kansas and Missouri today and tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to have Saharan dust.
Well, I noticed
it's going to be a hazy film across the sky, along with potential for fiery sunsets and sunrises. So it's going to look different. We're going to have like a haze over the metro
You going to
area.
wake up to see the sunrise?
What is that, 6 a.m.? No, I'm good.
I don't know. Sunrise is right now.
I'm good. On a beach somewhere, sure. Not
Do you do
just
that?
randomly.
Do you wake up early to see a sunrise at the beach?
I might when I'm going out of town here in
Couple weeks?
2 weeks or whatever. I might. More likely to see the sunset than the sunrise, I would say, Cody. But depends on what kind of night we're having, I guess. Maybe you just go all the way
Are
through.
we getting ready to get another heat dome coming our way or whatever?
Uh-huh. A what? A heat dome?
Yeah, that's what they call whenever that heat just settles into the middle of the country and we all have to bake.
Isn't that going on right now?
For the better part.
Aren't we in the middle of the baking?
I mean, it didn't start, it wasn't all that bad yesterday.
What?
Well, yesterday.
The humidity was
Sorry, Saturday
awful.
today I was thinking. Yesterday was kind of hot. 92 today, 95 tomorrow. I'm now looking.
Shout out to the people that are
96 on Wednesday, 95 on Thursday. That's going to be so miserable.
And now you got Saharan dust. I didn't know that was a thing that we could get from all the way up here, but I guess it is.
Did you get to the apartment pool yet, Drew?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And people were, it was weird. I showed up, only person there.
Oh.
Some other people came in.
Nobody was at your apartment
Well,
pool?
we went like as the sun was like not rising, but as the sun was getting onto the chairs and stuff. So there
In the
was
morning?
Yeah.
Oh, that's early. You were there early.
I thought you were like at 1 in the afternoon. Sorry.
No. But I was the only one there, and then people showed up out of like all the 20 plus chairs. Picked the chair right next to me. Why?
Oh, that's annoying.
Why?
That's terrible decision making.
They didn't say.
Did you have shade and nothing else was shaded?
There was only one chair that was in the sun, and I picked the one that was in the sun, and they still picked the one that was next to me, which made absolutely no sense. It was very, very weird.
Shout out to the people that are forced to work outside though today. I know we got a lot of listeners out there that are that are working. Whatever you do, whether you're construction, whatever. I know there's people that are working in the elements, and do not envy that. Now, someone did bring up a point. I don't know, Drew, if he's got the mic levels.
Not too loud?
Someone says, man, Cody's been gone for so long. I forgot how unbelievably loud he is. Can we please turn his mic down?
I could never.
I think the levels are okay for him.
I never sympathized more. There was New Heights was doing their big event down in Philly for like some Eagles charity fundraiser. And so Kylie, Kelsey, and Jason, they were doing her podcast, I think, and they were doing an interview with each other while they were down there. And they asked a question of each other, which is the thing you like the least about the other? Been in a relationship a long time. Like, what is the thing you like the least? And her thing was, you're so loud. Everything you do is loud. There's not like a quiet bone in your body. When you move, you're loud. You sleep loud. You just are loud. And I was like, yeah.
You can relate to that.
Loud people, it's tough. We don't have a good job. It's hard to rein it in. I try.
There is
sometimes.
a microphone that actually can amplify your voice.
I know. I try sometimes, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm good at it. But I do try sometimes to rein it in some. But Drew's, I'm sure he's got me you got me at the right level, Drew?
He does. I'm sure.
Yes.
That person just wasn't ready for it. Too early, I guess. Almost noon.
It was just jarring for them. It'd been 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's fair. They weren't used to it anymore.
All right, up next, let's get to what's trending, and then let's talk a little bit more about the World Cup and what we've been seeing at Arrowhead, and all the best moments seemingly in the World Cup seem to happen in Kansas City.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strahm from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, they are on a mission to do more here in 2026. Employee pricing is still going on. That means you're going to pay what they pay over at Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American value. So whether you're looking at a Bronco Sport, an Explorer, or maybe an all-electric vehicle like the Mustang Mach-E that I just got done driving, want to save a little money on gas, or it's road trip season. You know, Cody was just talking about going on a road trip down to Dallas. Maybe you need a bigger vehicle. The brand new Expedition is unbelievable, fully loaded, one of the nicest SUVs you're going to find, and you can find it over at Shawnee Mission Ford, where, again, employee pricing is going on. You're going to pay what they pay. American value for American values.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our American dream is ice cream. Red, White, and Bluebell is our strawberry ice cream loaded with strawberries, alongside creamy vanilla and blueberry ice cream with real blueberries. A full half gallon of red, white, and blue ice cream. Feel free to celebrate.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at select Walmart supercenters and select neighborhood markets.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Fresh paint inside, fresh flowers outside. Summer at your house is looking good. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, buy one, get one free select interior paint via mail-in rebate. Plus, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details and requirements. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending, the Royals. Well, they're off today, but yesterday they were able to get a game from the Chicago White Sox to avoid the sweep, also to end a 4-game losing streak. It was 5-4. As I said, they're off today. Tomorrow they begin a homestand with the Tampa Bay Rays in town. Also, don't forget, later on in the week they have their big fireworks spectacular celebration going on out at Kauffman Stadium. A couple giveaways this week. They have the Here Comes the Bloom Hawaiian shirt giveaway on Wednesday. And Armed Forces Night thermo giveaway on the 2nd. No game on July 3rd. That's because there's a World Cup match happening. And then Saturday is the Red, White, and Bobby bobblehead giveaway. I've had more people talk to me about that giveaway than a lot. It's the one where he's got a grill.
Yeah.
And the bobblehead is just unique and different. And there's like an eagle that bobbles on his shoulder or something.
Yeah, it's different for sure. We didn't get the email for the media preview for the fireworks. I don't really know that works. You just show me where you're going to shoot them all off?
Yeah, they're not actually doing a preview fireworks show. They're just showing you the setup.
Look at all the fireworks we got.
It's not like, you get a private showing of the fireworks.
Well, that wouldn't work. Everyone would get
It's also at 10:30 in the morning. So
doesn't exactly work for us, does it? Yeah. Next up on What's Trending, several World Cup matches today, including one kicking off right now. That's Brazil and Japan. Getting ready. They're 3 minutes into this match right now. No score yet between those two. Germany and Paraguay today at 3:30. And then the Netherlands will versus Morocco, I believe, tonight at 8. That's a pretty good day.
Strong. Well, now the stakes are high now. It's winner you go home. So this is when it gets really, really fun, and we're going to continue to see the intensity ratchet up. This one is in Houston to start off with. Elsewhere on What's Trending, NBA news, James Harden has opted out of his $42 million option, looking for an extension, wanting to stay with the Cavs. The Warriors, their forward, Draymond Green, is declining his $27.7 million player option to become a free agent, according to ESPN. The thought here, we'll see if it all comes together, but the thought here is this allows the Warriors to have flexibility to reportedly pursue LeBron James in free agency and Anthony Davis via a trade from the Wizards. So the thought is that the Wizards would trade Anthony Davis to the Warriors, which would then entice LeBron to sign with the Warriors, and you would have LeBron, Anthony Davis with Steph Curry.
See, I mean, that is arthritic. It's a bit of an old group and an injured group, but certainly something else. I saw Andrew Wiggins signing a 3-year deal. He's going to stay with the Heat to pair up with Giannis, who obviously got traded there last week. Next up on What Trending, the U.S. Department of Justice today announced former Detroit Piston Malik Beasley has been charged officially with sports bribery, illegal betting, and money laundering conspiracies. 6 other individuals also face charges. An investigation into Beasley began in June of 2025. This is the same player and story we were talking about over a year ago. He's just officially being charged today, or they announced their charges today from the Justice Department against former Piston Malik Beasley.
Lastly, on What's Trending, obviously sad news if you saw this come across today. In an interview on Good Morning America, Chris Johnson, former Tennessee Titans running back, announced his diagnosis of ALS. A whole interview, you should go back and listen to it if you haven't. He talked about his initial reaction and now how he's going to approach it. He's 40 years old. He said the symptoms first started with a weak grip, and then after receiving the diagnosis, his voice was recorded, so the speech-generating device mirrors his. So down the road, when ultimately that's going to be something that he's going to have to utilize. And he talked about just how quickly it, unfortunately, can spread. Football-wise, let's not forget, this guy had 2,000
yards. Tremendous years.
2,000-yard season in his second year. CJ2K, that's where that all came from, of course. Former first-round pick by the Tennessee Titans. So really, really sad news, but he's now trying to go out there and advocate. That's why he did the interview today on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan.
Very cool for him to open up about it. He really did have an excellent run in the NFL, but yeah, sad news for Chris Johnson. Don't forget a couple things coming up this week. First, Wednesday, come enjoy the U.S. soccer game with us at the Peanut at State Line. The whole station will be there on Wednesday night to watch the U.S.
Cody's singing the national anthem before the match starts, actually live inside the Peanut.
They got a microphone for me?
Yep. No microphone needed, actually. We just determined that in the last segment.
I'm loud enough. It'll be fine. Also, a reminder on Wednesday, that same day, if you have not picked up some of your garage sale items, we'll have another pickup scheduled from 2 until 4. I'll be outside waiting for anybody who might need any of their items available to them, and we'll continue to work with any of you who have gained an experience or want an experience and scheduling those things out. While I was out of town, I got an email from the guy who won the custom Cody Tap song.
Okay, and
did you guys talk about on air what he requested? I had sent you guys a little note.
I did not. I figured we'd wait till you
come back. So I had
back.
said, hey, congratulations. You won the custom song for me. And all I need to know is what kind of song you were thinking about. And thank you for helping the museum. So, who are you thinking about? He said, I would like to get a love song about or to my wife. Let me know what you can do. I said, yeah, I can absolutely do that. Can you give me a rundown of some of her interests or the things that she likes or some things about her that you might like included in the song? He sent me a whole rundown. Gold, look, see? Sent me a whole rundown of things about her.
Detailed.
And then it came with a bunch of photos.
Were the photos necessary for you to write the song?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to describe them in any way, it might be necessary in the song. So you can look forward to that nugget. Remember, you can't block that song. That song has to air.
So you have photos of somebody else's wife on your phone right now.
Correct.
That's what you just showed me.
In email. I didn't save them or anything. I'm not crazy.
That would be weird.
That'd be really weird and uncomfortable for everybody. So, Drew, are you looking forward to my love song to somebody else's wife, I guess is the question.
Sure. I'm curious more to see what song you're going to mix it to than
I got
the actual song itself, I guess.
I got some of her music preferences. I would like to maybe try to honor that in some capacity. So, we'll see which way that goes. Plus the text line saying I said Paraguay weird. Did I say it weird?
No. I don't know. I think I said it wrong maybe earlier. I don't know.
Was it you or me?
Just now you said it, but I don't know. I don't know if the text is referencing now or me earlier.
I'm a Spanish teacher. Really serious about Uruguay.
Yeah.
And those, she'd always make you said them weird. She'd give you a hard time.
Someone says they emailed a picture of the free flight on a helicopter if you're interested.
Oh, I forgot.
Somebody. So I don't know. One of you.
Sorry, I got very busy.
One of you sent me a photo or an image or a movie to my email address, and it didn't open. And
what was the movie of?
I don't know. No, it was an email. A listener a week or so ago said, "Hey, I'll email. What's your email?" And I think this might be the same person. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the number. And I got an email from you, whoever you are, that emailed, and I can't open the attachment. So I apologize.
Are they trying to hack your account?
No, somebody said, where can I send it? I knew what they were sending at the time, but the email didn't have any details. It just said, here's the video, and the video didn't open. But that made me very nervous anyway. But yeah.
What was the video of again?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But you said you knew what they were sending.
At the time I did, but this was a week ago, and I don't, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Someone says Gold looks different today. Watching on YouTube.
I don't know.
Maybe it's the new cameras. We've had new cameras for a month. Maybe it's the 5 o'clock shadow. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I do.
I don't know. You look like you.
I didn't shave. We've been out in the sun. Summertime. We're not as pale. Maybe that's what it is.
Slight tan, you know?
Not as pale. In the
Certainly
summertime.
can't hurt, at least based on that. But let's get back into what has been clearly the single biggest story of the last 2 weeks in Kansas City, which is the World Cup. And there are World Cup matches on right now, obviously, or a World Cup match between Brazil and Japan that is currently scoreless. But I'll say, how lucky did Kansas City get? So, one, the hat trick for Messi. Awesome, incredible moment. Once in a lifetime for Kansas City. But they've also been the world stage, clearly. The single biggest host city, in my opinion, from a public profile. From a TV watch perspective, they're the number one market. So Kansas Cityans are absolutely eating up the World Cup. And then they get one of the matches of the tournament so far last night between 2 nights ago, between two teams that could just take a 0-0 draw to advance to the round of 32 in the knockout stage, which is a huge deal for both of those countries, especially where they were. And instead, they play an epic back-and-forth match, which includes a 93rd minute goal. I mean, just felt like Kansas City's been very lucky in some of this. That was just the most recent example of how awesome soccer's been here.
I mean, to this point, I don't know if we could have asked for a better showing for this city in the World Cup. Last Friday, we talked about just, once again, this is proving that we can host any event possible. But you're right. We saw on Saturday a match that admittedly, when the schedule first came out in December or whatever, this was the one Saturday, 9 o'clock, one of the last group stage games, Algeria, Austria. That was the cheapest ticket at one point in time for all the group stage matches. And then the story out of Lawrence continued to grow. And then it turned out to be a match that absolutely meant something. Some people were worried going in that neither team was going to try to win. Yeah, it ended up in a draw, but both teams, I mean, the effort level was that there was maybe a 15-minute stretch, 20-minute stretch in the second half where you thought they were both kind of parking the bus a little bit. But for a draw, for those that say a draw can't be entertaining, like that's your exhibit A now to show people. Yeah. If anybody ever tells you like, oh, it can't be that exciting to go to a draw in soccer, show them that game, because that's the best example you're probably going to ever see considering the stakes. And it ended up in a 3-3 draw. And I know some people that went to the match, they had a blast. And it looked great on television again. Arrowheads looked awesome throughout this whole thing. And we all know about the Fan Fest numbers, but the TV numbers doesn't surprise anybody that's been in Kansas City long enough. KC always shows up or watches, I should say, when it comes to soccer or any big global event or any big time must see type of situation around sports. And Kansas City was number one so far through the midway point of the tournament. Boston 2, Austin, Texas 3, Dallas, San Diego 5, San Francisco 6, and then Atlanta was 7th, Richmond 8, Washington, D.C. 9, and St. Louis came in at number 10. So Kansas City, the top local market on Fox. And think if the U.S. can hopefully get past Bosnia, that should definitely be the case, but Wednesday, as they advance more, and all of a sudden the stakes get higher, and if we get lucky enough and the U.S. gets further and gets to play Spain or France or somebody like that, can you imagine the numbers for that? Right now, you think your watch parties are fun. And we hope to see you guys at Wednesday at the Peanut, as you said, on State Line. You think they're fun now and filling up. Wait until the stakes are high and they're all in prime time and they're against some of the top players in the world, the biggest stars in the world.
Like Yamin or Mbappe and some of the other guys you mentioned, they could easily see in the next few weeks. And look, the truth is that this is, and we'll talk more about the U.S., this is one of the better men's teams we've had in a long time. But I do think it's I was trying to look at it from a broad perspective. We got 2 matches left here in Kansas City. A round of 32, and we got the quarter, right? And we know that it'll be busy, and I'm sad. At this point, it looks like I'm not going to get to go to a World Cup match because the timing didn't work out for the first 2. And the third one, the price got out of control.
Well, you decide, Cody. Kids' education in the future or $6,000 soccer match. You choose, man. You choose.
I ain't got that kind of dough. So I got to choose the kids' education. So unless someone's got a free ticket for Friday or one for a much more reasonable price than what they're going for, I probably won't get a chance to go. But I also wasn't sad I didn't get to go on Saturday, but when I saw what the price we're going for, I was happy. Because in the end, the thing we were talking about this entire time was, is this going to be worth it for the city? And while I think it has still had to be propped up by Kansas Cityans making it awesome, Kansas City has done an excellent job doing that. While we as a city have done a great job bringing people to those gathering areas and making it a total scene. We as a city did a great job showing up and being an Orange and turning it into that. So like and I think it was 156 countries is what it said so far.
Yeah, 156, 157, something like that.
The area down there. So I'm not saying it's not anybody from out of town, but I do think that it's going to be a net, once again, positive for Kansas City, proving again that it can, I think you said earlier, it can host anything. What can't we host if we can host this successfully?
No, there's not a single event in the world that this city can't pull off. And we all know the next big one after this is likely going to be a Super Bowl or a Final Four.
Yeah.
At least that's the hope and the plan, right, with the new stadium out there at the Legends. And who knows? I mean, the way this has gone, and Drew's probably more locked into the future of FIFA than certainly either one of us. But I know there's already rumors that they want to expand it even more, which. But
yeah,
point
I
being
saw people complaining about that.
Point being is if they do that in 2038 or whatever, it's going so well in the U.S. I wonder if maybe not Kansas City, I don't know, but the U.S. might get this thing quicker than we think. And if Kansas City is shown out this way, at one point I would have said there was very little chance of us ever getting it again in Kansas City. The way Kansas City has shown up, it makes me wonder if it returns to the U.S. in 10, 15 years.
Chance?
It's going
I think KC has a real shot at getting it again.
Will be here again.
I know the stadium would be different at the time, right? But still, this
only helps.
Kansas, it's gone too perfectly. I know, knock on wood, we got 2 more matches here, but like it's gone perfectly in this city during the World Cup.
Both the major gathering areas, Power and Light, and of course down at FanFest, have been massively popular, with tons of people showing up. The matches themselves have gone off without a problem. You guys both shared your experience on Thursday, getting to and from.
Yeah, they worked out a lot of the issue from that first match. I had no problem parking. Drew took the bus. His situation was no different. Problem. So we thought they did a great job adjusting after clearly an issue on the Argentina match to start off with. So props to them on that. And the Fan Fest has been great. I'm going to try to next month make it out to the Sporting's doing their own soccer capital watch party stuff out there that started yesterday. On July 18th, I'm heading out to third place match for their watch party they're doing at Sporting because they have a couple concerts. Third Eye Blind.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna go out to that one?
Yeah.
But it's just been wildly popular. Plus, everybody saw the fireworks over the weekend as Algeria returned to Lawrence. We didn't even talk about that earlier in the show. We know Lawrence has adopted Algeria. Did you see that? Welcome home.
Buses were returning, yeah.
From as they arrived back in Lawrence. And look, I don't think Lawrence expected to adopt Algeria that way, or vice versa. Algeria expected Lawrence to adopt them in that way. But they very quickly became like, you know what? You're here, and we're all going to just be in this together. And then, of course, they made a great run, so now they get to be in the knockout round. So that adds, obviously, it helps add to the interest in the club. But still, I mean, it's been very cool across the board.
And we've talked about it, I know, a couple times over the last 3 weeks, but still, as you were kind of saying that, it brings it back up. I think we've all recognized all the stories across the country, whether it's here in Kansas City or elsewhere, and seeing the different cultures come together and some of the cool moments, and whether it's simply trying different food or just interactions. And you saw at the game, there was the thank you Lawrence sign that was there from the Algerians. It just seeing in a world that is crazy, chaotic, and can be awful at times, to see for at least right now a couple weeks and hopefully a few more weeks and hopefully beyond that. But I think we're being realistic. We unfortunately know the reality of the world. It's been awesome to have a reprieve from all the chaos and mess and recognize that deep down people do have a ton in common and are able to interact. And most people just want to have a good time. Most people don't want to be bogged down in politics and crap all the time. Everybody just wants to have a good time. And I think the World Cup has been a perfect example of that.
It's been really cool. It was very cool.
I do think it is kind of funny that the time the tournament expands, guess where it is? It's in the United States. Hey, we might expand the tournament again. Guess who wants it? The United States, who has a history through college football and college basketball and the NFL and baseball. Let's just expand.
We got the facilities for it.
If you're going to expand anything, make it in the United States is just a hilarious way to go about it. FIFA they shouldn't expand it, but if they do,
and in fairness,
maybe the perfect place to have it is here because that's all we do.
True. It's a pretty good approach to say us, Canada, and Mexico will do it together. Because then
it's worked out really well.
It comes with a real power structure of, what, am I going to turn down 3 countries to host this thing? And
it's been really cohesive and everything like that too, for sure.
It has been. I haven't seen anybody really.
Travel hasn't been a problem for the team. It feels like there hasn't been any any travel issues from teams going from country to country or anything like that. Everything seems to have flowed well.
I feel like the single biggest complaint I've seen about any World Cup match, travel, any of that stuff was from like the one offsides call where the guy was off by a toe.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not a World Cup problem. That's a that's a VAR FIFA complaint.
It's not in the spirit of the rule. It's the same to me as when the guy pops off second base.
Sure.
Offside should exist. That's not in the spirit of the rule. You know, being an eyelash over is not what we're talking about. He didn't gain any kind of advantage by being that far off. So, like that other part of it. Look, it was weird because I was out of town, as you know.
Did you notice? You were in Arlington/Dallas. Did you notice? I mean, there's games going on in Dallas. Did you notice any of it down there?
Honestly, maybe it's because we were in Fort Worth. Not as much as I was expecting. So there were a couple of museums we went to. There was one or two foreign, and then I drank with a guy from New Zealand at the pool. We were making him drink whiskey with us or whatever one time. He was fine. He was there with his wife and kids. He was in there to watch the. He was there to see his team, to see his country. He was there and was like, you know what? Come on by. We're drinking whiskey. We were just drinking like bourbon and whiskey and stuff together with the guy for a while, but it wasn't a ton.
Yeah. The other thing, as you were saying that, it's another reason why Kansas City does so well at these events. Whether it's the Big 12 tournament or this, you can become the story and take over the city. In Dallas, it's such a big city that even the World Cup, you just said you were in Arlington, which is of course outside of Dallas. You didn't sense it as much. In Kansas City, you can't go anywhere and not at least understand what is going on. I'm not saying that in the suburbs it's as intense as being downtown or
if you're around, you can tell something's happening.
But you know something's happening for sure. And then on Friday we did have
the Dutch fan club, right?
Yeah, Dutch Club KC was in town or in studio, and one of the members that came in actually flew in from the Netherlands. The uncle of one of the members flew in, and you would have loved this. Drew and I were talking in Logan to Jules. Okay, he is a professional darts player for Team USA.
Jules. He was in.
You know what?
Yeah,
he didn't.
Jules Van Doggen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably didn't mention.
He didn't even mention you at all.
He might not have even known that was a part of it. He might not listen to sports radio.
Yeah, great guy.
I worked with Jules.
Cody.
Nice.
His nickname.
I've gotten drunk with Jules.
What?
The Flying Dutchman?
No. His nickname is the Dutch Dragon.
The Dutch Dragon. That's right. I'm not kidding.
That's hilarious.
I would have had you mention it. So I worked with Jules for 1 year when I was working at Skies. He was an international intern at the Hyatt. And
that's funny.
And he worked up at our restaurant for 3 months, 6 months. We used to go drink on the weekends or whatever.
Yeah, they were great. We had a good time with them in studio. Learn a little bit about, of course, their thoughts on the World Cup and learn about their soccer team. The Netherlands has a big match tonight against Morocco. But yeah, small world. There you go.
Now I'm going to have to send him a Facebook message or something. That's just weird. Jules, huh?
I went out and bought some Dutch beer. Grolsch.
Okay.
I think I'm saying that
Grolsch?
right. Uh-huh. They said I had to roll the R a little bit. So I said Grolsch. And they're like, you got to roll the
Grolsch.
Yeah.
Grolsch. So you got to hit it a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. But it was actually really good beer. It reminded me of.
It's got the old flip top, right?
Not the ones here. Not the ones they sell here.
Even in the U.S. they used to be that
this
way.
was a normal bottle.
Okay. My stepdad used to drink that.
Yeah, it was really good. It reminded me of we thought it was a cross between Heineken and what's the Italian beer?
Peroni?
Yeah, we thought it was a cross between Peroni and that.
Funny you mentioned that. One of the times I specifically remember drinking with Jules when we were both interns there was he was mocking Heineken as being well,
that's why you notice I did not bring in Heineken. We had this discussion before I bought it, and I was like, I'm not getting Heineken. No, at least this is a beer that seems a little more. And they're like, no, they're like, Grolsch is a good beer.
Okay,
we enjoyed it. First beer I had in a long time. I don't drink beer, so I was like,
you had to do it for the occasion.
It was. We had a good time. So okay.
I'm sad I missed it, but everything else went fine. Other than I got a new AC, and that guy found my glasses, and he was busy, but I survived. We can talk more about some of that stuff later.
Someone says, you said there's not a single event in the world Casey can't host. How about the Winter Olympics where they go into Snow Creek? All right, person. Okay, come on now. You're right. You got me. We cannot host the Winter Olympics in Kansas City. That is the only event.
They don't have to host the entire thing. It could be the United States hosts it, and Kansas City has.
What event are we gonna have, though, Drew?
Wherever the Mavericks play hockey at. I don't know if it's Dahmer or what, but you can have the figure skating there.
Hockey.
We could do hockey there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we could have T-Mobile Center. We could have hockey. So technically,
or figure skating.
And there is a scenario, I guess. Take that, Texter. Look at Drew firing back.
Just not But they wouldn't choose us. If they were
course
like, we're going to
not.
choose some cities in the U.S.
Of course not.
Right.
Those
They would
Winter
not.
Olympic events. They're not going to be like,
No.
let's go to Kansas City in the Midwest.
They don't want to have the travel of all that. I know for the Summer Olympics, they're going to. The Summer Olympics, though, aren't they going to have most of it in L.A., but like softball's going to be in Oklahoma City?
Yep. It's weird.
L.A. 28, sorry.
It's different with this many matches versus like the Olympics can all be in one city. They don't spread it. It's not the U.S. hosts the Olympics. It's
As far as I'm
which
concerned,
city
what they
typically.
should do with the basketball, just Allen.
College videos.
Hinkle.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Small world on the.
That is crazy that you've worked with him
You
before.
said
and we
Jules.
had
I'm like,
no
I know
idea.
Jules.
That's crazy. Somebody else on the text line says they know him too.
Popular person.
He was I assume he mentioned he was a former professional soccer player. Lower tier. He was like 4th tier, 3rd tier. I don't know, whatever the Netherlands group was, but
All right.
pretty good athlete. He used to kick my ass at pretty much anything we did at a bar. I think I probably played darts against him early on before he was like a professional darts player. Should we go watch a match? Do they do those in Kansas City?
No idea.
In some capacity, maybe. It might not be.
I've seen those really cool
I talked to
ones.
him.
Those are
I just
huge.
talked to him. I said, just hustle people at a bar with darts. Nobody knows you're a professional darts
It's like
player.
you throw one dart.
No,
That's over.
I play darts a lot. That's all you say. All right, up next, let's talk about the Chiefs and a couple signs of what they might be looking to call some elements of their new stadium out at the Legends. And we'll get to the random question of the day.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament is heating up in the U.S., and on Kalshi, you can trade every single match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Maybe you're thinking about one of the local teams taking on tonight the Netherlands to advance tonight. A $100 trade could see a $162 return, saying 62% chance they'll go on tonight. You could flip to the other side on Morocco as well and mix and match, just kind of depending on what probability you like and which trade you like working with. We know that the U.S. is obviously trading at a much lower number than they were before as they continue their streak as well. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. So as that probability changes, you can technically buy in and out of your position and choose which end you want to be on. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract. Trade involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event.
Get up to 0% on select 2026 Subaru models for up to 72 months.
And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months.
0% event, and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hi, I'm Sam Silvio with M. Shamus Brazilian Grill in the village of Burlington Creek. What's the best way to describe M. Shamus? It's a feast. A 14-meat, full rodizio, and 30 choices at our famous hot and cold gourmet bar. More items than most any other Brazilian grill experience. Dine in or retreat to our Inferno bar for lighter fare, small plates, and the best wine and spirits. Or enjoy our patio dining. Go to mshamus.com and discover the joy of eating.
At Shawnee Mission Ford right now, they're allowing you to get a big win, and that is employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Employee pricing for everyone on 25 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions. And you still get all the rebates and incentives offered from Ford on top of employee pricing, along with top trade and value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. You know how avoiding eye contact with people when your brakes screech makes it less awkward? It doesn't. But you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right. Right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit. Now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll get to the random question of the day. You guys can always interact with us. Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running. We do have a goal that was just scored. Japan with the early 1-0 lead on Brazil in the round of 32, match number 2 in the round of 32, about 35th minute. But Japan, who was a slight underdog, we talked about that during What's Trending, like 3-1 to win. It's early, but they have the 1-0 lead over Brazil. Huge Brazil crowd there in Houston, as you would expect.
Are we rooting for anyone in particular in this match?
And this, I don't personally care.
I don't have any money on it. So.
I need a Japan win or draw through 90 minutes.
Okay,
in
right.
regulation time. So
great
we're off
shape
to
so far.
It was plus money for regulation time.
Okay.
Win or draw. I did a double chance. I combined it with a couple other things.
You got to watch those things, obviously, now that you
Betting's a little bit different now.
PKs can be different.
Yeah.
You got to make sure
you got to make sure 90 minutes or
make
whatever.
Make sure you do the regulation time tab. Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a problem. Now you can specifically, if you want, I mean, you can specifically bet that somebody will win in extra time or win in PKs or whatever. There's different bets, but yeah. In group stage, you could bet a draw and it didn't matter. But remember, you got to make sure you're doing the 90 minutes. Otherwise, you're going to get burned and think that you're going to win your bet. And you're going to be sitting there in extra time and wonder why you lost your draw bet if you didn't do that. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on the World Cup that's going on. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs and specifically a look ahead to the future a little bit because a couple outlets, including 41 and KCB5 and others, went and checked in on the old U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
Sure.
And the Chiefs have filed a couple of applications for a few phrases, words for the complex out at the Legends in the future. So here's a few. You have any thoughts on these? Arrowhead Sports Complex. Pretty simple. Right now it's the Truman Sports Complex. They have filed to potentially call it the Arrowhead Sports Complex. I mean, kind of makes a lot of sense, does it not? I mean, if you're going to continue with the Arrowhead vibe, I mean, that seems very obvious. What else are you going to call it? The Chiefs Arrowhead Sports Complex. If you're going to continue the Arrowhead theme, that would make a ton of sense. Not just because you file a trademark doesn't mean you have to use it. You're just trying to protect your intellectual property. So, okay, Arrowhead Sports Complex. How about Tailgate Town? This is a real thing the Chiefs have filed a patent for, or a trademark for. Tailgate Town. We know they're going to continue to feature tailgating, and they want to enhance it. That's a playoff of Titletown, which is what the Packers have up at Lambeau, and it's very cool, but Titletown sounds a hell of a lot better than Tailgate Town.
Like 1,000 times better. You and I have said this before. Anytime a new team comes up with a new name, most of the time they get mocked. We're like, oh, what a stupid new name that is, or whatever. Like people name the Kraken, and they're like, and then they'll eventually grow on them or whatever, right? So, like, I understand.
We are a tailgating town, Cody.
I understand the desire to just be like, maybe I just hate it because I'm not used to it. Maybe I just hate the new team colors or their alternate jersey because I'm not used to it. That is a legitimately horrible name, and I pray that they don't use it. It's awful. Of all of the ones in Kingdom Commons, which is also not good.
I think Kingdom Commons is worse.
I think that one's almost as bad, but not as bad. Tailgate Town sounds like Even Stevens fake sports complex where they go play in some fake youth hockey league. Tailgate Town.
Yeah, I mean, I told you it
just sounds so fake.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I understand what you're saying. I compared it to like Toy Story, right? Like the Planet Pizza or whatever, Pizza Planet or whatever it's called. But also Tailgate Town, can't you just envision that though? Like it's gonna be we got out in Tailgate Town. So and so's out in Tailgate Town.
Can't that just be the name of a bar or something there? Not the name of the whole area. No one's ever gonna say I'm going to Tailgate Town.
It does sound like a section of Disney World. Is almost what it would be like. Yes.
It sounds like something a dumb dad would say in a bad '90s sitcom. We're all heading to Tailgate Town.
So you'd rather it just be it just be T-Mobile lot?
Yes. Okay. I would prefer it be a sponsored name.
Okay.
I'd rather it be the Blue Chew Complex than I would Tailgate Town.
Well, that'd get people talking.
Tailgate Town, like where everybody has a good time. The Blue Chew Complex, where everybody has the best time. It doesn't matter, but like better than Tailgate Town. Tailgate Town's awful.
Yeah, grill it and eat it doesn't have the same ring to it as chew it and do it. Yeah,
that feels like something maybe Logan would have said last week when you guys were bringing back up his old drops.
Something like Barbecue Paradise or something like that.
Show us your meat, bro.
Look, I think that in looking at some of these trademarks, this is what makes it easy. From the 816, there's only one Arrowhead. I agree with that.
Oh, for sure.
This is why calling it the complex works.
Yeah.
This is how you get away with it. Calling the new building New Arrowhead, really tricky. Really tricky because the nostalgia for the old one, the people who won't accept it for a while. Given time, people will call it Arrowhead and it will go, but it'll take 20 or 30 years before people will grow accustomed to it, especially the old guard. It'll be my kids. they won't mind it being called Arrowhead a second time because they'll barely remember it being called that the first time.
But Arrowhead
if you
Sports
call it-
Complex,
Yes,
and it's
you didn't name
whatever
the
stadium. It's the, I don't know, pick a company name stadium.
Yes.
But it's at Arrowhead Sports Complex.
Correct. To me, that is the cheat in this whole system, is that if you call this the Arrowhead Complex, whatever, sports complex or complex or whatever, like the downtown area, the Commons area, that's why the other ones that are like whatever entertainment, and those are fine too, because that wouldn't be any different than calling something, Park Place, right? Or the other ones around town that just have generic businessy style names. Just call it the Arrowhead Complex. Don't call the stadium that, and then call the stadium something else.
The other phrases they have at least filed, the patent with the Patent and Trademark Office. Doesn't mean they'll use them, but would be 63 Entertainment, which is a nod to the inaugural season of the Chiefs back in 1963. 63 Entertainment and 2 Point Development.
Yeah, those are fine. Those are inoffensive ones. They're not my top choice, but I'm not offended by it. By the way, people are giving now taglines for our hypothetical Blue Chew complex, where the good times last longer. Where
welcome to New Arrowhead Stadium at Tailgate Town.
Where the play comes hard.
How about Tailgate Kingdom, someone suggests? How about that?
Better than Tailgate
How about
Town.
that?
I still don't.
Go ahead and file that one real quick.
Look, tailgating is an important part of the culture for sports in this town. I don't need us naming whole things about tailgating. I don't. Maybe that's part of the difference too.
Yeah.
It feels like a lame thing to name yourself after.
It does.
It feels like a lame ass thing to name yourself after. Oh, we tailgate better than you, so we named this whole area after it.
It does feel like,
doesn't bug me as much.
It does feel like what Dr. Pepper is doing with Fansville for college football. That actually is maybe the one to.
I don't like it. What's your favorite? Is your favorite the Arrowhead Sports Complex?
I mean, that just seems simple and obvious.
Makes the most sense.
I don't mind the name as much as maybe you do on some of the other stuff. I think
Kingdom
they want to
Commons is just
feature.
kinda hard
I
to
don't like
say.
the Kingdom Commons one. To me, is the worst. It just doesn't flow very well. I think clearly they want to make sure that the tailgating is top tier, and if they want to, frankly, commercialize it more, unfortunately, with the naming of it. I mean, there's going to be areas now that we didn't have out at Truman Sports Complex that are more specific throughout the parking lot, and they're probably going to have different names for it.
Yeah, and I fear you can't call it like just the Kingdom, because then people are going to expect like Castle-y buildings or something.
Welcome to the Kingdom. It's got a freaking moat to walk into the stadium. We got to walk over a moat in order to get into the stadium.
That sounds cool as hell.
Yeah.
They make the stadium look like a castle and put a moat around it and call it the Kingdom. I'm all the way in.
I mean, SoFi
Dude, that
has.
sounds cool.
Doesn't SoFi have like a little pond or lake around
Something
there?
like that.
Outside, there was I think there was a dead body found there recently. I'm not even kidding.
Neat.
Yeah, that's how I know
I like
about
the
that.
Kingdom a whole hell of a lot than Tailgate Town.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Someone says Kingdom Commons is basically like all the malls around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a generic, my problem with that one is it really does. I said it sounded like a rundown apartment complex off of 40 or something. There's just something about the vibe of it to me is not good. I think it's one I could get used to faster, but it's weird because I actually think that naming this right is important.
Sure.
Because
yes, it is.
Whatever you name it here, because of how long the initial rights will be, it's what we're going to refer to it as forever, for the rest of time. Whether it's Morton, Saltstone, Sandstone, Sprint, we just call them those things. Look, Arrowhead finally got renamed GEHA. Nobody calls it that.
Nobody calls it
Nobody,
GEHA.
and they could have named Kaufman something. Nobody would ever call it that. But even if it's a sponsorship, Wrigley, Heinz, they're going to call them those things for the rest of time, whether that company is sponsoring it or not. And so, getting it right is kind of important. A little bit of news, by the way, in the NFL, just as a side note for stuff that's going on. Adam Schefter reporting that Tampa court denied the government's request to hold linebackers corner Terrion Arnold without bond pending trial. So they've now set a $1 million bond and refused to impose an ankle bracelet as a condition of bond, which he says clears his way to participate in training camp. That feels like a bad idea for the Lions. I think maybe you just sit that one out until that's taken care of. I'm assuming you guys talked about the Terrion Arnold situation last week.
It happened towards the very end of the show, so no.
Oh, on Friday? So you guys haven't talked about it?
We have not talked about it on the show. No.
Obviously, if you guys haven't seen, he's being accused of some pretty insane stuff, including kidnapping and a attempted murder and all kinds of insanity.
Somebody that they were trying to go after somebody that stole stuff for them, or they thought stole stuff for them, and it ended up obviously escalating to a completely different level. And now there are going to be, for the next couple months, very interesting things to follow with the case. But he's not allowed to contact the 6 co-defendants or the witnesses in the case. He must surrender his passport within 48 hours. This is all part of his bond, which was set for $1 million. And he was ordered confined to his residence, except when he leaves to practice, as you said, and to play for the Lions. So they did allow him that one exception to everything there. But yeah, he's been in custody since last Wednesday when he turned himself in. He's accused of leading a plot to detain and pistol whip 3 people he believed had stolen from him. Kind of reminded me of the, you guys remember the O.J. Simpson situation that finally landed him in prison? When O.J. went after some people that stole, he claimed memorabilia from him, and he charged it was like a gun charge or something, but it was basically they had a pretty strong punishment for him, and he was behind bars for the first time or whatever. It kind of reminds me of this. Now, it seems even more serious than that particular example, but I don't know what the end game is here. But
I just don't know how, if you're the Lions, I guess you don't have to cut him yet, but certainly wouldn't let him anywhere near the facility.
But that's
as he awaits these kind of charges. Because, like you said, the report is he was at an Airbnb, he got a bunch of his stuff stolen, he found out who stole it, and then personally directed a bunch of people to kidnap and threaten.
Yeah, I mean, if it's true, I mean, armed robbery and kidnapping, I don't know how you play in the NFL. I mean, also, by the way, if it's true, he's in jail. So
he serves up to a life in prison.
Yeah, I mean, if he's convicted, football's the least of his worries. He'll be in prison for a very long time.
Longer than his career would ever be. But that's also why, I guess in these circumstances, I don't understand when these teams are like, well, I want to start the legal process. Not when the charges are this severe. Somebody's got there's a difference between they're facing some charges for some things we're not sure about, and they're facing criminal kidnapping. Mm-hmm. And if somebody on your team is facing a potential life sentence in prison, I think it's probably okay if they don't go to training camp. And probably in your team's best interest, if that player is not around the team as you actively try to do something.
Have the Lions come out and said anything?
I don't think they've said anything. At least not that I've seen. I think they've been mum's the word.
I don't know if they even put out.
They probably said we've seen the accusations, but yeah, I don't think you can just totally ignore it. I'd have to find it. I guarantee you, they've said it. Said something, but like nothing outside of what the Chiefs would say anytime someone's in trouble, right? Which is, we're aware of the allegations. We're working with the league. But like, if you're the NFL, like I understand you have like rules, but like this is one of those times to be like, we're putting on the commissioner's list.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're facing life in prison. You don't get to play no football for you until that's
I agree with you. And it's stuff that I'll just never understand. I mean, you're 23 years old. You were a first-round pick.
You could make $100 million in a couple of years.
You're already on a deal that's paying you $14 million. So, okay, let's say somebody did steal stuff from you. Okay?
$200,000 worth. That sucks.
But now you're going to throw your life away, possibly. Stuff like that. I'll never be able to fathom that kind of stuff. But it's crazy to me. No, absolutely crazy.
Never makes any sense. All right, Drew, let's get to it.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, we live stream the show every single day over on those. I try to interact with you over there as well. So if you like it, like and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Pop to the top of your feed. Question today has to do with, I told you how to get a new AC unit. So I have a 2-part question as it relates to that, because I'm always curious if I'm doing this wrong or right, and it's going to help us for future purposes. When going through, I'll ask the first question, then I'll ask the second one after this. When going through something like a full AC replacement, which is what I just dealt with late last week, if you're going to have a major car repair or this, how many quotes do you get for a major repair thing anytime you get something like that done? And how do you go about determining the one you go with is the question I have. So, Gold, they say, hey, it's going to be, $10 grand, $15 grand, $30 grand, it doesn't matter, to fix your AC. What do you think the appropriate amount of quotes to get is? Because I'm not trying to do too many, but also not trying to get ripped off.
I'm not a homeowner, but I would say 2.
2?
2 quotes. I also would say, usually you end up choosing someone that if a friend had already used, a family member had used.
Word of mouth. Would you accept
you heard
one
Cody?
quote?
You heard Cody or somebody talking about on the radio.
Would you get more than one quote from a shop, or is it just find the honest shop and that's where you take your car?
Hopefully, it's just as a car place you've already used before, right?
See, for a car, it's like I find the shop I like. I feel like if they're giving me honest, trustworthy advice, I'll just go to a different shop if I don't feel that way. And once I feel like we're comfortable there, I think at least 3 or 4 is the number of home quotes I got to get. Do you know what kind of ranges you get for stuff like this? What do you think the lowest bid I got for an entire...
For a whole new AC system? Uh-huh. Again, I'm not a homeowner, so I'm going to lowball. I'm going to lowball that. I'm going to say $10,000.
That's probably... It's a little higher than that, but not way off.
Okay, all right.
For the lowest possible quote. What do you think the highest quote was?
Oh, 30.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's a bit of a swing.
Yeah.
And look, part of the problem with our AC was we had the nicest air conditioning unit on the planet put on the house. Not us. Whoever owned the house before us. And they were like, it's crazy to fix because this unit is like $25,000. He said, this should be on an apartment complex, is what the guy said. The second question I have is, as it relates to stuff like this, and then I'll get Drew's answer. So you think at least 2. I think 2 or 3.
One of them's got to be climate control, you know? You got to call up everybody over there.
That's fair. But so I worked with some people who advertise here on this station, or at least had them come take a look at it. And so that part is one issue. The second part is, so they pull out the AC unit, and it's all sitting in my garage. And I didn't know, like, the second part of the question I have is, what is the thing you consider doing sometimes that makes you feel cheap? And I am not generally, like, overly cheap. But I'll tell you right now, when they had that air conditioning unit all pulled apart, like, hey, here's what the problem was. This is where the issue was. I'm like, oh, okay. And I saw the amount of copper in my system. And I was like, should I just be telling them not to haul this off so I can go scrap some copper? And I thought for a second, that might be the cheapest thought I've ever had. That instead of having them haul this, I don't even know. It seemed like so much copper in that thing. And clearly they're not going to just like throw it in a dumpster. Somebody's going to do something to get the copper out of the thing, aren't they? And shouldn't that person be me is what I thought.
You wanted to well, I mean.
Is that a terrible thing to have considered?
I mean, it depends how much. I mean, I don't know how many people that say, hey, I put in my new AC system and leave the copper behind for me, you know?
This is the other part is, can we stop making, there are certain things, I don't understand cars sometime and like HVAC. Like HVAC is a negotiable price. I can say,
it's because of the labor aspect of it, right?
But how can, just give me the price. I don't want to have to go in there like it's a car deal. I'm out here sweating. You do it for this? Ugh. Nightmare. Reed over on Twitch said that they got 3 quotes when they did their HVAC 2 months ago. But they also said the same thing. My auto guy is the only guy who touches my car, at least from Why Not. Somebody says it's hard to scrap metals these days. You have to have an account.
That's because people have been stealing so much copper off of it. Now these
So
places
if I just showed them a bunch of copper from an AC,
they're going to say,
like,
where did you
easy there, pal.
Where'd you get that copper from?
Well, couldn't I just prove that they installed a new AC unit? It felt like a fair amount of copper. I don't know how much copper is per ounce, but it felt like a lot in there. Is that what they're doing? Just out of curiosity, when they take all these things out, do they?
I don't know.
It is $6.20 per pound. $6.20.
How many pounds of copper did you actually think you had, Cody?
I don't know.
You probably didn't have as much as you thought.
It's probably like $20 worth, right? If you
I don't
consider
know.
scrapping the whole thing.
How much copper did
Not
you
even just
have?
copper. I don't know. I had that thought though, and I thought, oh no, is there something wrong with me? Do you ever think? Have you guys recently had a thought in which you thought, that's a cheap thing to do? What should I do? You know, like should I not be doing this or have considered that? Someone says you have to strip it clean now or show an ID. I don't show an ID. It was my copper. Ooh, they're going to track me? I'm not turning in a bunch of catalytic converters. It's copper from my actual AC unit. I can have my ID.
Someone says, did you read this text about the technicians making money? You see
No,
this one?
what's going on?
Someone says they work for an HVAC company in sales. Their technicians make hundreds a week recycling copper from old AC and refrigeration systems.
What if I just looked at it from like as a tip? You know, you tip the AC guy by not taking the copper out of his hands. He can get his couple $100 to do it. I would not be surprised.
Someone
if that's
says, you
what's going
cheap ass Cody, you would have got around $20 for it.
I'll tell you right now,
the work you would have done.
I understand how cheap it sounds when you're spending like 10 to 20 grand or something on like, but when you're spending that amount of gold, you're like, you know what? No, I want it more when the expense gets large, right? I want it less when it's something small. Like if I got to spend $5 or something, I don't care about the extra buck it's going to cost. I don't drive to every gas station in the city to save 6 cents per gallon. I just fill up where it is.
Sure.
I'm not going to drive across town to save 6 cents per gallon. But when you spend that amount of money, you're kind of like, now let's go ahead and carve that copper out. I'll take it sometime down the road. I didn't. I just let him take it like normal.
Yeah, even 6 cents a gallon. Depends. I mean, if you're in a truck that's going to cost you $150 to fill up, Suddenly saving 6 cents a gallon, it adds up across the year.
But is that any more or less cheap than me saying I'd like the copper out of my old AC unit?
I don't know.
Would you drive to a different? Do you look it up? Do you look up the gas prices around?
No, I don't. I go to the same.
I usually go to Costco to get
I go to like the same 2 gas stations typically.
Someone says there's no level of cheap I won't go.
I get it.
Some people are, it's a completely different.
Drew,
level.
what about you on the quotes?
You find yourself being cheap in some spots?
I'll get like 2 or 3 probably, depending on what it is. If it's for my car, for example, and I'm used to going to somebody, though, like I'm not. Whatever they like, if I have to get, I don't know, something repaired, and I typically go to them for an oil change, but it's something more than an oil change, I'll just go to them for the deal. I'm not gonna check different quotes if I've got somebody, even if it's for something more than an oil change. But if I'm new in town, yeah, I'll check out a couple of quotes.
You got to find.
I don't have any HVAC experience other than like in terms of needing that replaced, obviously. So. I'm sure I would get 2 to 3 quotes probably, and then once you find your person, you find your person.
I found my glasses, so maybe I could let the copper go. Found my old.
That actually is a
glasses.
plus for you. So that would be the negotiation. Well, I found your glasses. You got to let me take this copper. I think you'd be okay with it.
I couldn't believe he found them. I could when he came in. I was like, "Are you?"
Did you look in the spot that he said he found them?
Yes, of course I did. The curiosity, way too much, but I couldn't believe that I missed him.
The metal detector didn't work.
Oh, or I didn't do a good enough job.
What was our listeners?
I did like
what
2
was the
different
guy's
times.
name?
I can't remember now.
I just gonna say, whatever you spent for that metal detector, I'd be a little concerned. It didn't even detect glasses, or Cody didn't use it right.
Can I borrow it again to see if they would detect the glasses now that I have them? Now I want to just know if it was user error or the metal detector was never.
There's metal in your glasses. Are you sure?
There was in those pair. I can see it. Would have picked up all that copper in my AC unit. That's for sure. That thing's all gone.
Well, I'm glad your AC's fixed, Cody.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice
cheap
cheap expense for you. So awesome. Yeah. You chose AC instead of World Cup tickets. What a wise decision. You could have sweated all summer. Oregon to a World Cup match. That's basically the price for the quarterfinal. You can spend $5,000 to $15,000 or $20,000 on World Cup tickets or get a new AC unit for the house.
Got to make the right decisions in this world,
Up next, 1 o'clock hour on Cody and Gold. Let's talk about the World Cup a little bit. U.S. men's national team, their path looks a little tougher, and the Royals probably had one play in particular happen over the weekend that sums up the whole season.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Liberty Mutual customize this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. For help, call the number on the blue and white emergency notification system sign at the crossing. Give them the crossing number to alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life. For more information, visit oli.org.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and an 8% kick of alcohol. Dial up the fun with Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
1 o'clock hour here on a Monday. Cody and Gold, full crew back together. Cody is back. Drew Nixon producing the show.
Somebody on the text line said there's actually money in recapturing old Freon. You got people taking old Freon too? This is crazy, Gold.
Whatever people can do to make money, man.
Yeah, that's true. I do want people to make money.
Freon, that's the old school stuff. It's now like it's not even. We all still say Freon, but it's not even Freon anymore.
But I will, in fairness, I didn't realize, because at first we looked at like maybe recharging the system or some other stuff. Our system was weird for a variety of reasons. That was part of the issue with having to get a new unit versus repairs for it, because the coils themselves, like the parts, are insane. But like just to get, do you know how much like a pound of Freon or like, the equivalent is
Nope.
to put in your system? It's like $200 a pound, $150, $200 a pound. And like a regular AC unit might hold 8, 12, 14 or whatever. Our behemoth held like 24 or something, the previous one. So all a mess. Home ownership, man. Isn't it fun? This is the one time when owning an apartment's, or not owning, but renting an apartment.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, don't have to, if something breaks, it's not
Your
my
AC
problem.
breaks, you're just like, hey, please fix my air conditioner.
It's not. Yeah, there's obviously plenty of pros to you owning a home,
Yeah.
but not when you need a new
Until you
AC.
find out that your mortgage payment is cheaper than than people's rent right now.
Yeah, that is.
And you're getting equity.
Correct.
There's that whole equity.
That might be the biggest part of the whole deal.
Oh, equity.
So yes, there's plenty of downsides to it, but yeah, to Drew's point, anybody checking recent rent prices around town for apartments and
You've
stuff.
stayed in your place for a long time now.
Big reason why I have is because I started at a pretty good rate. They obviously continue to bump it up, but it's still, I'd start at a good spot. It's not as crazy as some of the other places.
If I went to go rent your place now, do you think it'd be more than my mortgage?
Yeah, without sharing your mortgage and my, I think so.
Yeah, you and I,
you and I have talked about off air. Yeah, I believe now you and I are almost paying the same, or I'm paying a little bit more.
Plus, assuming that you would want more than
I'm
just
paying,
a one
I'm
bed,
paying
one bath.
more than your mortgage now. Yeah.
Well, certainly not if I was trying to get like a 3-bedroom place or something.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
he's just saying for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
For just like
for just you. Yeah.
Man, I'd have to live in one of those divorced dads apartments if I had to move out.
Hold on, did you just? I'd have to live in one of those. Did you hold on? Say that again?
Divorced dads apartments.
Jeez.
Nothing on the floor.
There are quite a few divorcees at the complex.
Are there really?
Yeah. There are.
That's the spot for the Overland Park divorce.
There are quite a few. Yeah.
Honestly, right now, well, depending on the 1-bedroom. This 1-bedroom is more than my mortgage.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But that's the one kind of like yours.
Isn't
with the
that
garage.
insane?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just bonkers, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Ludicrous. It's only 700 square feet, too. That's all I'm getting for that.
Yeah, man.
It's hard out there in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a cheap week for me, but still. I don't make it seem like
Anyway.
that. Let's talk a little World Cup. Obviously, there's a match going on right now. 3 really good matches today overall. I think a week ago, I felt better about what it looked like the potential path was for the U.S. men's national team. I feel less good now, but I will say the idea of getting to the round of 16 should be no doubt. They are a heavy, heavy favorite against Bosnia. So they got a good opening match. They're a favorite, or will be a future favorite against Belgium.
I think so, just
Depending
based on the
Belgium
future.
hasn't looked good. The
Yeah.
U.S. has, so maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
But if Belgium gets past, those are the 2 most likely. We know they're facing Bosnia, but we know Belgium's the most likely team they'll face after this. Then anything past 8, that's a huge win for the men's national team. Drew had pointed out earlier, they've done that like once. They missed the last World Cup, the men's national team. So, like, I'll be honest, getting the knockout round, okay. It's not, they can lose all the goodwill, I think is the way you put it, if they lose to Bosnia. You get to the round of 16, I'll live my, it stinks if they lose, but I'm not going to call this a catastrophic failure by the men's national team. Anything past 8 is gravy, because the idea that they might have to face France or Argentina, or it's like all the
Spain,
powerhouses,
yeah.
Spain, if they get past these rounds. It gets brutal after this.
Yeah, as far as just expectation, I think we all discussed before the tournament began that, you would love to see them get to a round of 16. Quarterfinal would be like the most optimistic probably take from anybody out there. I think before the tournament started, Rob and I both said round of 16 is where they'll get to and then lose. And then a week ago, I think we all got our hopes up a little bit because the path was looking very favorable to the semis, even perhaps. Like you might have been able to avoid playing one of the premier countries till the semis. And now it's looking like in the quarters, you're going to have to play Spain if the bracket holds. Now, we keep saying that upsets happen. Like, who knows? All it takes is one of these other countries to have a poor performance as well.
Correct. And then your path gets easier, sure.
So we'll see. I mean, I think right now, the only way this World Cup is a disappointment for the United States is if they lose on Wednesday. That's unacceptable. Can't happen. It really would ruin everything we've been talking about and the job that Mauricio's done, everything.
Yes.
So they're going to win on Wednesday night. And by the way, we hope to see you at the Peanut on State Line. We're going to be all out there, the entire station, hanging out.
Taking it in?
Yeah, taking in some soccer at the Peanut on State Line. Drew, I know you were warning us earlier. Like, you think Belgium is definitely not going to be one that we should look past at all. I don't think
they have not been playing well, and I think that's part of the reason why people are thinking the U.S. is going to be favored there.
I don't. The way they looked in their match over the weekend, I don't know how the U.S. is going to be. From the standpoint of who Belgium is in the first place, they're also ranked 10th in the world, which is ahead of the United States.
Yeah.
The way that they looked over the weekend, I don't know how the U.S. will be favored. They also beat the U.S. Roster was a little bit different. They beat them 5-2 in March. Pulisic played though, Ballingen played. I mean, they played. The U.S. played at least 6 or 7 guys that they've got in their lineup. So it would be significant, though, ironically enough, as the last time the U.S. was in the knockout stage in a match where you felt like it was this big, at least, was when they played Belgium back in 2014 and they lost. So back when Jurgen Klinsmann was the manager. So I think I think it's going to be tough to beat Belgium. I'm going to be just totally honest. Like Romelu Lukaku also hasn't been totally fit to play a full 90 yet, and he's their best striker. So he's been coming off the bench and has been great for them when he has. Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best players in the world. So I think it'll be a tough match for them. Can they win it? Sure, but I don't think we can gloss over the fact that, well, if they get to the quarters, then it's the tough opponents. Like they're going to play a very tough opponent in the round of 32 in all likelihood. Who's better than them on paper?
Yeah, I think we'll see how the U.S. looks against Bosnia. But right now, the reason why I mentioned that I think they'll be favorites against Belgium is because based on the futures market, they're saying they are now. To what you're saying, if Belgium looks great, the futures market for the U.S. to get to the quarterfinals is plus 110. Well, that, of course, requires a win against Bosnia and Belgium. And so based on that, that's telling you that...
Even money almost.
Almost even money. It means that they will not be like an underdog even against Belgium. But if the U.S. looks dicey against Bosnia and Belgium looks really good in their game, then of course it can shift. So I think for most fans, if you ask them now, especially the casuals that don't have, like us, that don't have this much of a grasp on the worldwide stage of it and watch on a regular basis, I'm at the point, because of how good we have looked, if they lose to Belgium, I'm going to be very disappointed. After that, it's all gravy for me. Maybe for you, it's beat Bosnia, then it's gravy. For me, if you get past Belgium, then it's house money. Who cares? And it's like, man, can we just shock the world? And you're going up against Yamal, and if you get past that, then it's absolutely absurd if this team is in the semifinals against France.
This is already better than I expected them to look, in fairness. I think we were all kind of taken back for those first couple of matches. We're like, oh, wait, is the U.S. good? Like, we've talked about the difference between the men's and the women's clubs over the years. The men's team has essentially accomplished nothing on a worldwide stage at any particular point. They have never been a real threat to win this tournament. Something about getting past Belgium would make me think that they got a chance in the right kind of upset, in the right kind of match to at least maybe make some noise.
Yeah.
If a team like Morocco in the last World Cup can cause some problems, why can't you? You have some stars, you have some pieces, and your path is at least somewhat doable. But when you get down to the final 8 teams, I mean, we're talking 4 matches. I mean, you're firmly in it at that point. And, lots of different, and you had to have been playing probably pretty good soccer up to that point in order to do it. I do kind of hate, though, that they finally feel like they've got some momentum. They got a superstar player. They got some other guys playing well. They got a head coach who seems competent. He's already leaving. You got
we don't know that yet. There was an update over the weekend. No, there was an update.
I miss that?
There was an update over the weekend that the U.S. reportedly is already doesn't mean he's going to stay, but the U.S. has already extended an offer.
Cody, I think the AC Milan job went to somebody else, not Pochettino. So all of a sudden it opened that possibility back up of returning.
Just don't lose to Bosnia, and I think we'll end up retaining him.
I'll be honest. Even if they lose to Bosnia, bring him back. Are you kidding me? The way that they look is better than they've looked in maybe my lifetime in terms of them being dominant. To the point that you made, Cody.
They look like a competent soccer team.
They look like a legitimate threat where they're the aggressor and not just hanging on for dear life, which I think is enough for me. I know that it's shocking, but in the same breath, like Italy's not even making the World Cup. I know it would be a disaster, but there's teams that missed out on it who have no business missing out. And like if they lose, they shouldn't lose. But
yeah.
I would bring Poch back even if...
what a save.
I'd bring him back even if they lose to Bosnia for some odd reason.
We're watching Brazil-Japan, and Brazil nearly just... I mean, it was a hell of a save from Japan. Brazil probably should have just scored. That was an unbelievable save. Japan up 1-0 in the 52nd minute. Plenty of time to go, but it is the first round of 32 game of the day. But, they're showing the replay, Cody. You'll see this header. I don't know how this thing didn't go in. It was a great save.
Almost felt like it was going to go into the corner, chipped over him there for a minute on that.
And the crowd in Houston, as you expect, is so pro Brazil. It's not even funny.
What do we think Friday's going to look like in Kansas? Do you think it'll
Columbia
be
and Ghana?
way pro
massive Columbia crowd?
Yeah, have you seen the images? Columbia will travel. It's going to be all yellow, and I know Ghana has yellow in their colors, but it's going to be all yellow in the entire stadium at Arrowhead. It's going to be insane.
I recently learned I might go to a art thing tomorrow because
an art thing.
Well, I'll explain in just a minute what it is, but you'll have to look it up, Gold. I recently learned based on a show that I watch about Ghanaian movie posters.
Okay.
So they wanted to show American movies, but they were trying to there was a time in which they couldn't import the posters for it, and it became like an art form that they were designing their own.
Oh, I just.
And on Tuesday, look at some of these Ghanaian
Space
movie
Jam
posters.
one is
there's
hilarious.
an exhibit for them on Tuesday.
The Space Jam one is great.
And if you just look them up, look up the self-designed Ghanaian movie posters they used to promote these American movies during this time, and they are amazing. Sometimes they make no sense. Why is he holding a
Space
Glock?
Jam? Have you seen this? The Space Jam one is unbelievable.
In the Jurassic Park one, for some reason he's holding a golf club. Or something.
So you're going to an art exhibit that
They've
has
got
this
some of these posters on Tuesday. It's look at Jurassic Park. It's hitting a driver into the dinosaur for some reason. Aren't they fascinating in some way?
Why in this poster Bugs Bunny had
I think they added guns to a lot of them because they thought, well, people might want to see it more. And then they added a lot of extraterrestrials or other types of snakes. There was a common theme there for a while of the additions they made in an attempt to get people to watch more of it. Scantily clad women, guns, snakes seem to be a regular theme of the three. But this one with Mrs. Doubtfire, she's got a broom through his eye. I don't understand. Look at this one. Why is that the poster promoting? That's not. I saw Mrs. Doubtfire, and I don't remember it looking like that. So, you want to take a look? We're showing a few of them on the video stream, but
I did not know.
Do yourself a favor and search up
So you're going to an art show just
that
to see
had
this.
some of these displayed. Yeah,
was that planned before the World Cup?
Somebody mentioned that it was a thing that was going to be in town, and I was familiar with these movie posters from a different outlet. And I was like, oh, there's going to be some in real life?
Is this just because Ghana's playing here Friday?
Yeah, I think so.
So this is a last-minute thing?
Yeah, it's a one-night only showing of these posters.
Okay.
How about the AFCON nations? 9 out of the 10 made it to the knockout stage.
Yeah, that
they're the highest
well.
percentage of any continent to make it.
Yeah, it's strong showing.
It was interesting, but yeah.
Did you see the Cape Verde? They got a like a witch doctor who
what's up with
called
she's spells on people
who called Harry Kane not scoring at all, and then he didn't score, and then he missed a wide open at the net finish that for him would normally be pretty easy, and they say that
she said she
England's
lifted
going
the
to
curse,
lose
though,
to the DR Congo.
I thought she lifted the curse though.
Afterwards,
after the match.
I mean, this might be another one because the Congo play as Brazil just equalized. The Congo play England.
No, but there was some other. There's multiple witch doctors. Then there was another curse that whatever country they played when they played Ghana, there was a witch doctor that put a curse on England in, and that was the 0-0.
That's Harry Kane to not score, and he missed the one that was right at the net, and now the DR Congo has another one saying that the Congo is going to beat England.
Is that what happened to the Royals? Did some witch doctor curse them? Because in the time I was gone, I think every player of the team got hurt.
I wish it was that
Everybody
simple.
got hurt in the short time I was gone. Is there anyone left? Nick Lofton took baseball to the nuts. Jack Caglione missed some time, or missed a start because of a sore groin. Bobby Wood Jr. missed time and then had a hurt ankle. Michael Garcia went to the injured list. Am I missing anybody else? Oh yeah, Cole Reagan's his season's probably done. His time with the Royals might be done based on his elbow concerns. Anybody else get hurt while I was gone, or is that everybody?
No, that's the bad. I think that's about everybody. I would say I wish it was as simple as a witch curse or something on the Royals.
Because then maybe we could get it lifted?
Yeah, it'd be fixed a lot easier than I think what's going on right now.
Look, I probably should have been at my breaking point long before this weekend, but something about losing...
Brazil just tied it up, by the way.
Something about losing 22-1, in which Tyler Tolbert is pitching for you multiple nights in a row, and then in a game watching Nick Lofton miss a start because Daniel Lynch threw a fastball 90 miles per hour at his groin. Something about that, that's the comedy of error stuff. Being bad is one thing. Being the butt end of the entire joke for all of baseball is slightly different.
And Montgomery puts down a perfect bunt. Lynch fields, throws to third, and he drills Lofton, who is now down.
He wasn't expecting a rocket of a throw.
They're going to bring the card out.
but they are going to need a new third baseman.
White Sox broadcast.
It doesn't look like he's going to miss a bunch of time, but still, man, that's brutal.
They officially said he has a contusion. No kidding. No kidding.
There's not an amount of money you could pay me to take that shot.
No.
There's not like a number.
And players don't really wear. It's so fun. When you were playing Little League, you'd wear a cup.
Oh, you have the coaches in check?
MLB players don't wear cups. Like 90% of them, if not all, don't. Like they just don't. It's been like somebody, no joke. There's somebody like somebody did a story on this a couple years back, and like it's just not. It's weird.
It's not a thing anymore.
It's just not as much of a thing anymore for whatever reason. I don't know why people stopped doing it. Yeah, I'm not saying there's zero, but yeah, a lot of them just don't do that anymore.
Was this this is the. I've been very patient, I think, with front office and managerial decisions. There were, one, I know we agree on this weekend. Two, that I think are bad. I don't think that Jack Caglione should be playing both. So you and I can agree on that. I would have just left him in right field. You said it's fine if he plays first base. If Vinny Pasquantino missed any time. I don't like that he's playing both. I think that is for a guy who is hitting well, and the only guy who'd been hitting well for you, bouncing between first and right field, I hate.
He's been hitting well since he's been playing first, too.
I don't like the shifting him back and forth. Fine. Let's call that a small one. Having Bobby Witt Jr. hit in a game in which he's wearing a massive knee brace, in a game in which you're down 22-1, is fireable. It is that bad of a decision. You cannot leave in your superstar who is actively recovering from an injury in a game down 21 runs. I don't even care if he told you he wanted to stay in the game. He could fight you tooth and nail. You can look like a jerk pulling him off of the field. I know that that's a difficult challenge too, and it comes with its own issues. And maybe he was fighting to stay in the. You got Bobby. We need you for a whole hell of a lot more games.
Oh, you're the franchise.
Than the one we're down 21 runs in. This is a long game, man. We can't. This is years. This is games and years. Like, we can't have you playing in a game we're down 21 runs. What the hell are they doing? Why is he hitting?
I agree. No,
Why's he hitting?
Yeah, that's more than fair complaint. The Cags first base, right field thing, I get the argument, but remember, Cags has played more first base in his career than right field.
Yes.
Not to say he hasn't gotten. He's certainly gotten way better at right field, and it's a credit to him.
Yes.
But with Vinny out of the lineup, it makes plenty of sense to be playing first base. For him, and long term, I still think there's a chance he ends up playing first base for whether it's this franchise or whatever. So, as far as the Bobby thing, yeah, I mean, we're at the point now where you got to just do whatever it is possible to make sure he's right and healthy, because this is now a lost season in terms of competing for what they were supposed to compete for, But that didn't make any sense, Tyler Tolbert's out there pitching, but you're making sure Bobby Witt Jr. with a knee brace on is still getting at bats.
We're not going to get Jack in the home run derby? Is this?
No, I think there's
a chance.
Yeah, I think Jack Caglione should be in the home run derby. You don't have to be an all-star to be in the home run derby. There's a chance he's a reserve or alternate.
He's had an all-star kind of season. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was way too late in the voting process to be trying to talk about voting.
No,
and that's already in phase 2, and that was never going to be the case. But maybe as a reserve or alternate, home run derby though, why not? He's somebody that can win the derby. He's a young star in this league. The problem for him is right now he's on a team in Kansas City that's not getting any national attention because they stink. And across the country, I don't know if he's as much of a household name as he even was a year ago, oddly enough, because when he got called up, everybody was talking about him. He did not have a good season last year.
He'll put on a show.
But
if you're
he
Major
could
League
win.
Baseball,
they should want him in.
He could win. Now, look, Salvador Perez could have won a couple of years ago, maybe.
But Cags can hit a 495-foot home run in Philadelphia multiple times and put on a show.
Yes. He can put on a show, and he now has the home run numbers in season to at least support it because he's on a heater in the month of June. We had said long ago he needed to have one of those months where he put together 10 home runs in a month and go on the kind of run that made it kind of hard not to see. I just didn't know if the groin stuff, it's 2 weeks? 13th? Is that when the home run derby is? I'm trying to remember the week.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's the week I'm gone.
It's the Monday or
the Tuesday. It's like
the
14th. Yep. I mean, unless we find out more today, as of right now, it's an off day. We'll see if he's not in the lineup tomorrow. But Cags having the groin soreness or whatever it was when he woke up yesterday, I don't think that's like a serious thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird year for the Royals.
Someone says, "How come Caglione's not the position player that pitches for the Royals? Why is Tolbert doing it?"
Because
he's already. Well, they also don't want. You want to make another decision and risk. Why would you want any injury to Cags? All of a sudden, a line drive. He's trying to field a ball off the mound. He twists his ankle. You just don't want to do that.
The utility players who pitches in those moments.
I understand that he's pitched, but you don't want to mess with.
And
that.
they all do like the lollipop throws now anyway. They all just kind of like.
You don't want him actually throwing.
You don't want him from the stretch trying to throw 90 miles an hour down there, trying to get real outs. They're down 21 runs.
He wants about incompetency.
Oh, my. He's in there throwing.
He gets hurt while he's pitching. Oh, my.
Hurts his elbow.
Gosh.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
No. Nope.
This is one of those seasons you and I had said going into it where we didn't think anybody was entering the season on a real hot seat. But the way the season's gone.
Everybody's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
It's the reality of I don't think they're going to make a bunch of changes the way it's trending.
I don't think so either. But they're dead last in the American League.
But changes are going to happen in some form or fashion. I don't know if it'll be everybody the way some people are talking.
But this can't be. You cannot accept this.
There has to be consequences for a failure of the season. And it can't just be like we had bad injury luck because
it was going south before that.
That's not the story of the season.
Hell, you were 15 games under 500 before anybody got hurt. And now you're still 15 games under 500. Nothing actually changed in that.
Yeah.
What stood out the most is that the American League stinks.
Yep. No, it's a terrible AL season. Still, the last wild card team will still be somebody that's above 500 when it's all said.
Yeah, even though they're a game below 500 now, they will be eventually. No, I agree. Like every team that makes the playoffs will have more than 81 wins this year, which means. I don't even have to do the math anymore. You and I aren't entertaining that, or certainly I'm not entertaining that, neither are you.
No, we're way past that.
They're dead last in the American League and have the worst run differential in the American League. Do they have the worst run differential because they had negative 20 over the weekend? Yeah, probably, but it wasn't looking good before that.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to what's trending. We'll also talk more about a wide receiver that might be talking his way out of the NFL.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
I hear the sizzle of the grill. It's time to buy Gates sauces and seasonings for your 4th of July cookout. Make sure to use both for a boost of flavor on your dips, chips, and more. Try Gates salad seasoning on raw or cooked vegetables and sprinkle over corn on the cob to give it that extra flavor pop. Stop in and pick up a couple of slabs of ribs or a party tray to serve this 4th of July. Whichever, Gates has you covered. All 5 locations will be open this 4th of July. Gates has proudly served Kansas City for 80 years. Thanks with love. At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
At Shawnee Mission Ford right now, they're allowing you to get a big win, and that is employee pricing. You pay what they pay. Employee pricing for everyone on 25 Mustang, Mach-E, Bronco Sport, Mavericks, F-150s, and Expeditions. And you still get all the rebates and incentives offered from Ford on top of employee pricing, along with top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford. American value for American values. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more in 26.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their Match Day Meat Bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's Wine and Spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Get up to 0% on select 2026 Subaru models for up to 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months. 0% event and a lifetime warranty. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hi, I'm Sam Silvio with M. Shamus Brazilian Grill in the village of Burlington Creek. What's the best way to describe M. Shamus? It's a feast. A 14-meat, full rodizio, and 30 choices at our famous hot and cold gourmet bar. More items than most any other Brazilian grill experience. Dine in or retreat to our Inferno bar for lighter fare, small plates, and the best wine and spirits. Or enjoy our patio dining. Go to mshamus.com and discover the joy of eating.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world has noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, we were just talking about the Royals a little bit. They're off today. Then they begin a homestand against the Tampa Bay Rays going into the holiday weekend. They were able to avoid the sweep by winning yesterday. Tomorrow, it'll be Noah Cameron on the mound, 6:40 first pitch as the Rays come to town. The Royals 15 under 500.
Next up on What's Trending, the World Cup underway right now as we are in the knockout round. Brazil and Japan tied up at 1, as we currently sit. Germany and Paraguay will take each other on at 3:30. And then Netherlands, Morocco tonight at 8. Obviously, we'll be out watching a game on Wednesday at the Peanut. If you want to catch a match with us, we'll be out there on Wednesday at the Peanut on State Line, watching the U.S. play.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. Looking forward to that. Some NBA news, though, going on today. James Harden has opted out of a $42 million option there. Looks for an extension to stay with the Cavs. The Warriors, here's the big movement, could happen very soon. Well, Draymond Green is declining his $27 million player option. According to ESPN, this move gives them flexibility to pursue LeBron James in free agency. The Warriors at multiple sports books now are the favorite to land LeBron James. And then Anthony Davis via trade from the Washington Wizards. So the thought is that the Warriors are going to try to have a formation of LeBron, Steph Curry, along with Anthony Davis.
And they all try to beat out Father Time, I guess?
I mean, look, it'd be fun. I'll tell you that. At least it's fun. It's intriguing. I don't know if it's going to work. in a Western Conference that, of course, has the Thunder and then the Spurs that emerged this year.
If I was a Warriors fan, I'd be worried they're burying the franchise. Where when Steph and them are gone, they will be really bad for a very long time.
LeBron has had a truly one-of-a-kind career, and one of those things that makes it unique is all-time greats don't usually end up on this many teams. It's like there's a crazy amount of teams for an all-time great player.
Yeah,
NBA is just different now, though.
I know, but just one of the three best players of all time.
I do think people will say if he went to the Warriors, people would say stuff like, "Oh, he needs to go to another team to be competitive." I just hope that LeBron keeps the gray beard. I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram or whatever. He has let the beard go to gray. I need him to play in the gray beard, or he's crossing up some guy in his 20s and dunking with his left hand.
You should.
With the gray beard. I mean, that'd be some all-time stuff, right?
Lean all the way in. I'd give his tenure with the Lakers a C. He did win a title, although it wasn't the bubble. Next up on What's Trending, the U.S. Department of Justice today announced former Detroit Piston Malik Beasley has been charged in sports bribery, illegal betting, and money laundering conspiracies. 6 other individuals also face similar charges. An investigation into Beasley began last year. You might remember we talked about it in June of last year. They've just gotten around to formally charging him with all of those different stuff. He was accused of point shaving and fixing and all kinds of different stuff. Serious allegations.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, really sad news today involving a former NFL great, Chris Johnson, former first-round pick of the Titans. You guys remember maybe a 2,000-yard season that he had in his second year. He did an interview today with Michael Strahan on Good Morning America talking about ALS as he announced that he has been diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. And you and I were talking during the break because if you watch the interview, it's really sad to see how quickly he has already had to shift to this computer that does the talking for him. He has to use his eyes to look at words on a screen that then speak. Now, he talked about in the interview that he recorded his voice very early in the process so that when he speaks, it is him. That's why the interview, it sounds like him. But if you watch the interview, you'll know that he has to use his eyes to speak. It's terrible. It's so sad. And someone put out a video just a year ago. He was at the Senior Bowl coaching up players. And then here we are a year later, and he's not able to speak. It's awful. Awful disease.
It is an awful disease. It's really sad how quickly it can get you. And sometimes it's especially hard to watch. 39 years old. Yep. And it's especially hard to watch sometimes with these like elite level athletes where you're like, you were used to seeing them do things special, and now they're like in some ways prisoner to their own body, where in just a year's time, he went from coaching at the Senior Bowl, like you said, to using a voice machine in order to communicate. It's like crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
He said it was really interesting, an interview that I encourage people to listen to with Michael Strahan. But he said the symptoms first started with a weak grip, and then after receiving the diagnosis, that's when he recorded his voice so that this speech-generating device mirrors his. And so now he's just trying to be an advocate for it as well. But all happening in a year. Just terrible news for the 3-time Pro Bowl running back Chris Johnson. That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold. We are keeping an eye on the World Cup match that's going on right now between Brazil and Japan. It is evened up at a goal apiece in the 75th minute. So remember, we get to extra. If nobody scores here in the next 30 minutes or 25 minutes or so, we get to extra time.
And then if it gets to 120 plus minutes, then we'll get a shootout, a penalty shootout. Can I ask, I'm not asking them to change anything about their sport. That would be a very American thing to do. Be like, no, change everything about it.
What do you want them to change?
Since they already changed the hydration breaks, which are just commercial breaks, can we just stop the clock for those?
No, we don't ever stop the clock in soccer.
But can't it stop for the things they just made up for the tournament anyway?
No, we just add in.
Those aren't a part of the game anyway, so why not just...
They just add it in.
But for those, you don't have to. The other things are an unknown added time.
Yeah.
I'm saying the other part, you know how long they take. Can't you just get rid of those?
I think it's been a great tournament.
Oh, I'm not.
The hydration breaks, fans at the games just boo it. So we were at the Netherlands match, and I'm sure it happened on Saturday too with Rob, and then we're at Algeria. But fans are booing openly the hydration breaks if you're in the stadium.
I think if you're a diehard, it's a mockery. I've grown up with commercial breaks in sports.
Yeah,
It
we're
doesn't really
used
bother
to
me.
it in this country.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
doesn't,
And there's
like-
no going back, by the way. Every World Cup for the rest of our life now is going to have hydration breaks
It
for
doesn't matter
commercials.
how hot it is.
Yeah, they could play. All the games could be indoors. By the way, a lot of these have been indoors, and they still have. It's all just a chance for Fox to make an extra, I don't know,
It's a
$200 million in
Yeah.
advertising.
Well, and that's how, if you're the World Cup, that's how FIFA gets their big contract. When you know you get to sell off a hydration break and there's only a couple of them, you know how much you get to put that price tag on it. You can ask whatever the hell you want. But yeah, this match is all knotted up at 1 apiece, 76 minute or so.
Yep.
I don't know how long their stoppage time will be. We'll see. Is Japan, how big of an underdog were they in this match?
They're 3-1 to win.
Oh, okay. So decent size
Yeah,
underdog.
they're
Not like
3-1.
not like they give them no
jumped-
chance.
They jumped out to the early lead. Yeah.
And still
Don't forget, by the way, come hang out with us on Wednesday at the Peanut on State Line. We'll be watching a little bit of soccer. So come on and join us there. We'll all be gathered for some reason, just some match that we're possibly going to be.
It's an above board show.
Yeah.
There is something happening Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's where people kick a ball. It
Yeah.
will be on television, and we want to watch it on television with you.
Mm-hmm.
At
But
the
it's
Peanut
not. But
on
it's
State
not
Line.
a party to watch anything.
No. It's just I will happen to be there
While
at
there's
the
a game
Peanut on State Line, and if you also wanted to be there to watch soccer,
Drew's gonna. He said he's
that is
bringing.
available to you.
Drew's bringing the Vuvuzela or whatever again. So
Are you, Drew?
That's the plan.
Where did you get that
I'll
from?
be rocking the
I got
U.S.
it from-
jersey.
from the first watch party.
Yeah,
they
handed
were
them out.
handing them out, and they're like, "Do you want one?" I said, "Absolutely, yes, please."
Yeah, but I'll have and by the way, I did not wear the U.S.
Scarves as well.
jersey. I did not wear the USA jersey against Turkey, and that's why they lost. So it's still undefeated when I wear that jersey. So
you put it back
I'll
on?
put it back on Wednesday against Bosnia.
I'll just have a regular shirt on. I don't have any strong plans for.
Are you going to be wearing a Bosnia jersey? I actually, if anybody
What's
at this
that look like?
anybody at this station that was likely to wear a Bosnia shirt, it'd be you. You would wear a jersey of the team the U.S. is playing.
Half of the station went and marched in orange. I think I'm officially off the hook.
They weren't playing the U.S. They weren't playing the
The
U.S.
team I was talking about at the time wasn't playing the U.S.
Yeah, they were Italy in the World Baseball
I said if they
Classic.
hypothetically played them.
Oh,
That was different.
Okay, I mean, Drew actually had a kit for Netherlands. His was all official.
He changed his opinion on it. Which, Drew, that's growth. I appreciate.
But he's gonna be
appreciate
rocking
people who
USA
can,
stuff. I think on Wednesday.
I don't have anything U.S. Unfortunately,
Nothing?
I'm just going to be
I don't think I
wearing.
have
Anything.
anything.
I'll just wear
All right.
something.
I'm not faulting you for wearing the Netherlands jersey, but wait, you have a Netherlands jersey, but you don't have a USA.
I used to have a
anything.
U.S. men's. I thought I had a U.S. men's
Okay.
national team shirt, but it appears I either don't have it with me here or I got rid of it. I suppose, but yeah, I don't have any U.S.
Okay.
men's national team.
Go on
gear.
Facebook Marketplace and get
I
there's
don't
some
think I own
USA
anything
gear.
that's the 4th of July, just put on regular clothes. I don't have red, white, and blue shorts.
Someone says they're only showing up Wednesday if Drew is back in the Hooters outfit. Has the guy picked up the Hooters outfit yet? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's still here. Is he? Are
If
you
you didn't
ever?
hand it out,
Is he
Drew,
ever
you
picking
didn't
it up?
I think so. I told you I got to write a song for
You do.
a listener's wife.
I still think
The
it's
person
weird.
who
you
bought
have
it said they wanted to get it for their wife. I believe, if I
the
remember.
Hooters outfit.
correctly.
Yeah.
Which, look,
they haven't come to pick
Oh,
it up
you know what?
yet,
That person
so-
messaged me. They might come this week. They did message me. They said they were out of town. They were worried they wouldn't have enough time to pick it up.
I thought they were worried because they brought
remember.
they passed it along to the wife, and the wife was like, "What? No."
He claims she has a good sense of humor about it.
Oh, good.
We're about to find out.
That's good.
I mean,
We're about to find out. Just as soon as
let
he
us know.
hand delivers that thing.
Let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I am
please.
curious now. But, we'll try to reach out to the rest of you all. Now we're the first show back in a while for us. We're all here, whole show, whole crew.
Yeah,
It was
the-
hot as hell in the building when we first got here. It's
Yeah, it
now
was
since
quite the welcome
stabilized to a normal temperature.
Freezing over here now.
Is it? It's now it's overboard. That's what's going to happen. Now it's going to be overly cold in the building for.
Be an ice
we can't
box.
get it right. No, yeah. When the AC was not working early this morning, and so it was like 90 degrees in the building, and it's much better now in this studio. Now the hallways are still trying to play catch up, but it's actually we turned the fan off in here. It's actually chilly in here.
It's perfectly comfortable
We're good.
now, yeah.
Again, people out
Square
listening right now are outside working, construction, HVAC, whatever, landscaping, sweating their ass off. So
I offered when they were doing the HVAC, I offered them water, I offered to get them lunch. They turned me down for all of it, but I tried.
Well, they didn't want you making anything, I'll tell you that.
I was just going to buy him like McDonald's or something. I wasn't trying to,
That's why they said no.
Why?
What
am I supposed to get him, a steak
one of the
dinner?
World Cup,
They're out
meals,
working on an AC. They don't have time
I say you start grab some burgers on the grill, man. Go grill.
You start grilling?
Start
It's hot
grilling
as
out.
hell. I'm not trying to do that. Let's talk about, let's go back to the NFL for a minute. You had mentioned Brandon Ayuk in the tees is something to talk about. And I've advocated for him being a worthy take a shot kind of player. We're not going to play the audio again, mostly because one of the curse words played through.
Went through the bleep, which was crazy.
He has been making his situation worse. And as much as he is yelling, I'm going to sign with the Commanders, does anyone right now think that the Commanders have agreed to that part of the deal? I think he might be ending his NFL career the way he's acting. The 49ers stuff could have already caused a serious hurt to that and make that a big problem. But now the way he's handling trying to get out of it and just proclaim himself on the team, and he can't just stop doing Instagram lives for 5 minutes so he can get off his team and get on a new one, makes me think there is a chance he just never plays football again. Which for a guy that had, 1,300 yards a few years back, that does seem insane.
Yeah, he can't shut up, and he is sounding a lot like Antonio Brown and these crazy videos and attacking people. And Drew had a bleep about 15 things in the 3-minute clip or 1 minute clip that we had earlier on in the show. I still think it's the NFL that some team is always willing to take a chance on you.
On talent.
On talent. But in fairness, we haven't seen him play since he tore up his knee.
Yeah, so I don't even know if he has the talent part of it.
As far as the Commanders part of it, Adam Peters is the GM in Washington who worked with John Lynch, who, of course, still is in San Francisco. I'm not sure that the Commanders want to mess with this after hearing, I'm sure, from John Lynch what they're dealing with. And the fact is, the 49ers don't have to do anything. He's under contract through 2028. Because he has refused to show up, he's on a reserve/no-show list, and it does not count against their active roster from a number perspective in terms of roster limit, and he does not count against their cap, even though he's a $13 million cap hit. So they don't have if they want to play hardball.
If he never shows up to work, they can essentially just pay him nothing. And
the only way that he can push the issue is to show up. And in the audio clip we did play earlier, he said that he's not showing up in San Francisco on that field unless it's whatever date he gave, which is the date the Commanders happen to play the 49ers this year. He sounds like Antonio Brown.
This is an idiotic decision by him. It's not Terry and Arnold bad, but it is bad in the sense that you can still have a career. You can still choose to have a career. Now, look, you're never going to make the amount of money you were going to make. Brandon Ayuk signed a lucrative contract, of which he's already nulled. A 4-year, $120 million deal, and he's already screwed over all the guarantees. So now he has no guarantees left. He's just, because he doesn't show up to the job anymore, he was scheduled to make $13 million this year in cap hit. He was scheduled to make $41 million next year, and 43 the year after that. He was scheduled to be a highly paid NFL player with $45 million guaranteed at signing. And he's thrown some of that away because of an inability to show up to work. And now you can't just agree that it went bad, beg them to cut you, but be quiet. Because here's the difference, too, is that, Gold, had he just come out and said, this didn't work on the team, this is a really bad fit, I love football, I don't want to be in San Francisco anymore, and just after that point said nothing, there might have been a team who threw a seventh at it, or at the very least did something to convince the 49ers that he was worthy of getting off their team so that he can go somewhere else. I don't actually think the Commanders are interested. I think that's just wishful thinking. No one from the Commanders have said they want him.
Well, they can't.
No,
he's under contract. Yeah. They can't tampering. They can't publicly say anything.
I just have a hard time imagining they do want him.
Yeah.
Like in what world? You are a young team that it already feels dysfunctional, already seems like it's got some let's get together cohesion problems, had some issues before this, in the let's all get together on the same page. You just want to throw a stick of dynamite into it? What sense does that make? That's why I worry about it for the Chiefs. I think any team to take a chance on him now better damn sure be the most stable, comfortable franchise in the league as it currently sits to take on that challenge. And the Chiefs are one of those, and even I'm telling you, no thanks. Because I got enough with figuring out how to get Rice back and Worthy and everybody else all together. I'm not looking to add to that.
I wouldn't, but knowing what we know about the future of the wide receiver room in 2027, right now, Rashee Rice would not be under contract.
Worthy wouldn't be under contract.
Worthy would in 2027.
Oh, he would.
You're
right.
But it'd be Worthy, Thornton, Royals, and Allen, 2 unknowns. And then we all agree that they might have to spend top pick on a wide receiver or whatever. I guess what I'm getting at is if he were to get back with any team this year and just finish out the year, I'd be interested. Like, I would love for another team to take a chance on him this year, see him perform well, and then consider bringing him in after. The problem is whoever brings him in this year, if anybody does, will have the leg up to retain him. But I guess that's what I'm suggesting, Cody, is that I would like to find out, can he still play football? Let somebody else take the initial risk. And then in the offseason, I can try to sign him.
Yeah, and I think that's really what I'm out on the risk game. Partially because it's the same thing. It's like once I'm sure there's a hope, Gold, that you could be past your knucklehead ways, well then I'll take the chance. Right? If I think that there's a chance that the childish antics of your past can be of your past. They're not. Yeah. They're not. And like I do think that there's a real talent question that should not be ignored in this. If he gets on a football field and he looks slow or not agile or not as athletic as he used to look because, I don't know, he hasn't played football in 2 damn years and is coming off, I guess not coming off a major injury, but had a major injury the last time he played football, that doesn't reassure me that he's going to look like a good NFL player anymore.
You're saying the best
he
thing
might just be bad and an idiot.
The best thing he could do is instead of posting like the tirades, it could be
running,
showing some work, some route running work or something like that.
He'd be better off spending his Instagram page, running some slants or something like anything, Drew. But he can't stay out of the news.
Yeah, I mean Brandon Ayuk is either just trying to troll for some odd reason and make the Niners, or he has, legitimately, or he has a very serious condition in it. He's got CTE symptoms already, and he's right down the Antonio Brown path. I mean, it's one of the two.
I mean, he doesn't have the concussions, though.
I know. That's why the meme that was flying around, Drew, was he's the first player to get a CTE from a leg injury. Because again, this is not a guy that has a history of.
Sometimes people are just bad about decision making. We talked about Terry Arnold.
He fired his agent, didn't he? Fire his agent.
We talked about Terry Arnold early in the show, who got they're gonna give him an actual bond.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're not gonna put him on an ankle bracelet.
How bad it's gotten.
But like he's alleged to have started a kidnapping and holding someone at gunpoint because he got some stuff stolen from him, which stinks, and it was a lot of money, and I'm sure that it was awful. But to throw away your entire life over it, some people just make bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to compare.
I
don't want to compare Terry and Arnold allegedly committing armed robbery and kidnapping, facing life in prison.
I guess what I'm saying is like it's not always
Brandon Ayuk just being a moron.
I'm saying it's not always CTE. Sometimes it is just
bad decision making.
Yes,
for sure.
Sometimes it is just bad decision making. Like sometimes it is just people can't get out of their own way. There's lots, and it doesn't like small infractions and big infractions, right? Some people learn valuable lessons. We talked about this with Rashee Rice. Sure didn't learn his lesson after a serious accident that could have caused serious bodily harm and going through the legal process to do all this. No, you just broke a different rule and went back to jail. Like, you got to learn from these moments. And like with Ayuk, I don't need Ayuk in this. It's already a messy wide receiver unit. It's a first-round pick who hasn't come to his full talent potential yet. It's a second-round pick who has had some great moments on the field when he plays and is a knucklehead at any other moments. It's like it's already just a messy. Yeah,
again, that's what 2027 I would be interested in then. If I found out that he played for somebody this year and looked good, and then you can pivot at that point and he becomes an available option. That'd be the only scenario I think that'd be interested in. Otherwise, just go sign Tyreek Hill or something.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, and look, Tyreek comes with his own stuff too, but at least it's the stuff you know.
Look, every wide receiver that's still out there has. I mean, there's a reason why they're still out there. Stephon Diggs is still out there because at one point he had some legal problems.
I think Keenan Allen and Debo. I mean, that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah, that's it, man. Otherwise, there's usually some. And with those guys, the question is just because they're aged. What do they have? Just from a true football standpoint, but yeah, it's just.
I don't remember ever seeing Keenan Allen get any kind of.
No, he's been squeaky clean. Yeah, Keenan Allen's been squeaky clean in his.
I didn't mean
NFL
that
career.
to like try to get. I just like couldn't. I couldn't.
No, he has. No, Keenan Allen's been a pro.